intro, Marv?
I mean, actually, before, can anybody hear us?
I think they can.
Never mind.
Why?
I was going to ask you about you made this because you were conflicted with your faith, but I was like, what triggered you to make it?
Oh, mortality?
Mm?
Yeah, we can discuss that.
Mm.
What is going on, everyone? So, welcome to the latest live stream. I am joined once again with one of my best friends, Marv Yola. Marv, how are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm happy to be alive, grateful to be alive. I'm happy that you're all here. Um, ready to talk about movies, man.
Dude, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. I know earlier today we were talking about Matt Reeves, so I definitely want to discuss that. The Matt Reeves discussion, and then also just Joker 2, because I mean Joker 2 is right around the corner.
Let's just dive in.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say, when are you seeing Joker 2?
Well, Thursday's my dad's birthday, so
Oh, dude, nice.
I thought about that. I thought about seeing it then, but it's a pretty good matchup on Amazon Prime, a Thursday night football game. So I'll probably just watch that with him. And so as far as Joker 2, maybe Friday. But the tricky part is that my nephew could be born any day now. So
Oh, nice.
so
Congrats.
thank you. So I was trying to like make plans, probably book tickets to go see it, but I was trying to like leave it as a like kind of like we'll see on the day. You know, as you know, I'm not really pressed to watch it like like drops. I mean, I even thought about waiting to see it on uh $5 Tuesday. To be honest with you, I actually I've maintained my I don't want to say lack of interest, but I haven't been high on it. I was never high on it since they first announced it.
I
Uh,
think largely because I like the idea of a superhero musical, but I think that Joker just it worked as a standalone film, and I think that
mm,
part of what made that film so intriguing is the fact that you can interpret it so many different ways. It would be the equivalent of if someone did a sequel to Taxi Driver. Like Taxi Driver is a film that what's so great about it is the ambiguity. Like if have you seen Taxi Driver, Marv? Before I say anything.
I've seen bits and pieces.
Oh, okay. Then I won't say anything. But basically, Joker borrows like heavily from Taxi Driver, and Taxi Driver has that same kind of morally gray compass that Joker wears on its sleeve. And I don't know. I just think that when you make things less up to interpretation, I feel like what you see is what you get. Then in turn makes the previous film feel a lot less special. That's what I'm kind of worried about. Like I am worried about Joker 2. And I do think that I don't know if it's going to do Hangover 2 numbers. I know
It,
that.
it, it, it will do Hangover 2 numbers, but you have to remember, Hangover 2 numbers are worse than Joker's numbers. And I think that's going to be the case. Because I think there's going to be a negative reaction to the musical aspect of it. But we haven't seen it, so I wouldn't know.
I have an early screening I'm seeing Monday actually
Ah,
in IMAX.
are you excited?
Yeah,
You said
I'm
no.
actually going to be rewatching Joker tomorrow.
You said no.
No, I am. I don't know, man. I'm just like on one hand, I'm excited because a superhero musical is unlike anything we've seen before, and also apparently it's a courtroom film, and
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite genres.
not
But
mine.
I've also heard that it explains a lot of what was ambiguous about the first one, and that's what I'm kind of scared about.
Yeah,
Like if
I don't.
he really is like this genius mastermind who created all these riots and everything and is like the face of that, then I'm going to be like okay, yeah, sure, because then I'm just going to look at the previous film and I'm going to be like, yeah, okay.
To be fair, I told you that. You told me I was wrong. I told you that's what happened. I told you that he did that. I told you. You didn't believe me.
Because it's so stupid.
That was. It's a comic book movie. Not to say the comic books are stupid,
But
but
that's the thing about Joker is that if you take out the fact that it's a comic book movie, it could be argued that it is just a grounded drama. Like it just so happens to be that he, has a bloody smile at the end. That's the appeal of Joker for me, at least. But
But I told you, I said he was the face of the revolution that really happened. And then I think it was last week or the week before that one, you said you said that it was no, Marv, it was all in his head. None of that happened. I was like, I don't know what Chad's talking about.
that's that because that was my interpretation. But like, if the next movie is just like, yeah, no, he's the face of a revolution, and at the same time, he did kill these three people despite him using too many bullets. And I think it was a 5-barrel gun, but he shot like 7 shots. Like, there's just so many things that if all that happened in the previous film actually happened, there are just so many flaws that it's like, okay.
And
That's why we don't get a Taxi Driver 2. If Taxi Driver 2 came out, it would undo everything.
In this one
film.
instance, I will say that is why I'm happy that we have Joker 2. So it can confirm that it all happened. I told you it happened.
It just, I don't know, man. Like, but that's the thing. Like, sometimes it's good to not have all the pieces of the puzzle. Like, I know we live in a cinema sins type world of movies now where it's like, oh, plot hole this, plot hole that. But it's like sometimes it's nice to not be spoon fed every single thing and actually, come up with our own interpretations. At least that's my 2 cents.
I get all of that, but that was never going to cut it with a superhero property. Anyway, if you tried it, the results would not be good.
But I think that's what it was originally pitched as. It was originally pitched as just a grounded drama that used IP to sneak in a drama to people.
That's what it did.
Right. But it seems like the sequel, look, going based on what you're saying, it sounds like the sequel, it's like it's now officially an IP, and so therefore they then have all this like baggage that they have to do, and it's just like defeats the. I don't know. Like I said, I'm frustrated.
It made $1 billion. That's why they have to do it.
I know, but also it was. I think it's a fluke. Like I think it's going to make half that. I think it's going to make 500 million. If that,
it will not make half. It'll probably make like 750.
You think it's going to make 750 million?
If it's good, I don't know what the movie. I could tell you when I saw when I see a movie, I know if it's going to do numbers. You know that. When I saw Joker, I knew it was going to do numbers. I don't know what this movie is going to be like. When we saw Oppenheimer, I said this movie is going to do numbers, and it did. Replay value. I have no read on Joker 2. I haven't even heard any excitement.
Keep in mind, I'm not one of those people where it's like, oh, I heard from my group of friends like this, so therefore this is like, set in stone on how it's going to be. But I am someone that I listen to other people and I see other people like with what they have to say. And I don't think I've ever heard anyone say Joker 2 I'm excited for. I always hear, it's a musical. I always hear, it's a musical, so I'm not really interested. So it's like
I haven't heard anybody say they're excited about it. And I think they waited too long. But we'll see. But the one thing I am excited about is my baby mama, Lady Gaga, is in the movie. And I couldn't be happier.
I mean, I think that's a good casting choice. Like, I do like the idea of Lady Gaga playing.
It is fantastic. That's the only way you beat Margot Robbie for me. I'm ready.
I'm very curious to see her interpretation. By the way, we have a bunch of comments. Film Kid says, hey. He also says, I rewatched The Shining today and forgot how scary and amazing that movie is. Yeah, I'm actually planning to rewatch it this October. Marv, I forget. Do you like The Shining?
I've never seen The Shining.
You've never seen The Shining?
I saw Dr. Sleep.
Oh, dude, you gotta watch The Shining.
I've meant to. I have the book.
Well, from what I understand, the book's very different.
I heard.
But, dude, the film, you know what? That's what we're gonna do. October. We're not just gonna watch an Eagles game together. We're gonna watch The Shining together. Because I own that bad boy in 4K, and it's one of the best 4Ks I've seen. Like, you got to experience it like on my 75-inch TV, 4K, like the works, because that film's easily top 3 horror films for me all the time. Like that's an incredible film.
I've heard. We'll watch it.
We got to watch some horror film though this October, and I feel like that's one of the few that you haven't seen.
I mean, if I think about movies I haven't seen, horror movies, that'll probably be one. I think I saw all the rest, but I never watched that one. I just to say it, I'm not really a fan of Stephen King.
Well, he's not a fan of The Shining. Like he doesn't like it because of just how like far apart it is from the book.
Mm-hmm,
And like Kubrick made it his own.
mm-hmm,
But what's so great about The Shining, the film, is that going full circle to what I was saying earlier, it's a film that you can watch it multiple times and you'll get multiple interpretations of it. Like one of my film classes, we watched it and we like analyzed the cinematography, but we also analyzed all the symbolism and different perspectives of like different races and how, because there's a lot of symbolism of different races that's in that film too.
mm-hmm.
And it's very, very fascinating, but it's also very entertaining. Like you can just casually watch it and you'll have a good time because it is a very, very well put together film. You'll like it. I think you'll like it. It's. I know you weren't a fan of 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's very different from that film. Like
I
you'll have
I
a different
I
experience.
hate that movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a very different film than 2001: A Space Odyssey.
That movie sucks.
I disagree, but that's why I was saying that it's a lot different than your experience with that. Film Kit says my more in-depth thoughts are on my Letterboxd route. I will have to check it out. I'm going to release my Tarantino ranking. I'm looking forward to seeing that, man. I released my Tarantino ranking about, I think, 6 years ago. It was one of my first ranking videos that I did, but I do want to re-rank his filmography because it has changed. Also, Joseph Guerrero calling you out, Marv. Gee, Marv is real. He is not a walk. Good evening, LOL. See, I told you, Marv. I was like, we got to make sure that you're front and center this time. We got to make sure that the iPad's plugged in and everything.
It's still plugged in. It's charging, but the way I have it held, I took it out, but it was dying really fast. So I said, no, I don't want to chance it. I'm holding both my hands under it right now. That's why it keeps shifting. It dies really fast when it's like on like video like this. And plus, you saw the screen. The screen's pretty broke.
Yes, it is. Film Kid says I'm going to go see Howl's Moving Castle tomorrow. I think that was actually my first anime that I saw. I'll be curious to hear your thoughts. Marv, did you see that?
I think I saw bits and pieces. I don't like anime, so I will never watch it. I have seen it though. I've seen I when I was a child, it came on TV a lot. And I would watch it, and me and my brother would be like, "What's this?" When we kind of got into it, and I want to say, even though I'm not into anime, I don't disrespect it. I believe that you could get into something if you really tried to, and I think that if I tried, I can get into it, but I just don't have any interest to. But I know about that movie for sure.
Try just chewing. Apologize, everyone, for the chewing.
You're chewing cock.
Get ready for The Exorcist. Film Kid, is it crazy that Spielberg released Jurassic Park and Schindler's List in the same year? It is, but Spielberg's done that before. Like he made 2002, he made Catch Me If You Can and Minority Report, and it's like it's so cool. Like I love Spielberg. Like I was thinking about it the other day when I saw Megalopolis. It's really wild how there are so many innovative directors of the 1970s, like Brian De Palma, George Lucas, Francis Ford Coppola, Steven Spielberg, and of all of them, he's the only one that didn't peak. Like he is one that I would argue makes a masterpiece in each decade. And I can't really say the same about any of those other directors. Like George Lucas, past the 70s, kind of became arguably irrelevant in regards to being like an auteur. Francis Ford Coppola, I would say, peaked in the 90s. And then Brian De Palma, I would say like 80s, maybe early 90s. So it's very fascinating that Spielberg to this day can make a film. And it's like, yeah, that was a very well-crafted film. Like so good. So, and he's also ironically the same one, like the only one I feel like out of them that hasn't really commented on like superhero movies being cinema and whatnot.
Yeah. You should tell me, how was that Megalopolis garbage?
I'll say it. I'll answer that in just a moment. Sorry, we just have other comments real quick. Just for Guerrero, first Joker was solid, but I like Aga's acting. I think the chemistry is there. Yeah, I agree. My rating for Joker's gone down, but I still like it. Still own it on 4K. OMG never saw original Shining. Yeah, we got to change that, Marv. This October. The Shining is amazing. I just want to live in the Overlook Hotel forever and ever and ever.
Absolutely not. Why? If you could die there.
No, he's kidding. It's a line from the movie.
Oh,
Film Kid, oh my gosh, the ending of The Shining genuinely was bone chilling. Yeah, that's one of my favorite endings, honestly. It's in my top 25, Marv. Like at my wedding, one of the tables was The Shining. Table.
word?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But I made sure that you got the 2001: A Space Odyssey table.
Why not the Exorcist table?
Because it's in my top 25. It's in my top 100. It's in my top 100.
But you have 2001: A Space Odyssey above.
I do. I love 2001: A Space Odyssey. You know that. It's in my top 10.
You are on crack.
I mean, look, that movie on crack would probably be amazing, honestly.
It would not. That movie is terrible. I truly believe that is one of those movies that, for whatever reason, a bunch of our idols told us was excellent, and when we watched it, we just, because they said it was excellent, we just went along with it. I watched that movie. I brought it on DVD, and I didn't watch it because I found out that it was coming on IMAX, so I never watched it. I went to go watch it in IMAX, excited, like, yes, I'm ready to get my life changed forever. And that was the worst $20 I've ever spent. I hate that movie. I hate it with a passion.
To be honest with you, when I first saw it, I thought it was just solid, but I couldn't get the imagery out of my head, and I couldn't get that ending out of my head, so I just rewatched it, and it's like the more I rewatched it, the more I loved it. And it's funny because I remember the first time I saw it, I thought it was like slow, but like now it flies by. Like I'm like, oh wow, I'm already at the intermission. Like wow, okay. I don't know. There's just certain films where it just takes a couple viewings for it to click. At least for me personally. Film Kid. One day I want to visit the Overlook Hotel. Yeah, the Overlook Hotel is easily one of the best set pieces. Marv, we got to watch it. Andrew Lay, yes, Film Kid. I just want to pose for that photo, you know. Film Kid and I would only visit in the winter. Chad know what I mean. Yep. Method watching. I was actually method viewing earlier with Twin Peaks. I had my I am Dougie's coffee, which is from Twin Peaks: The Return. Had that. Had a couple vegan donuts. Was watching Twin Peaks: The Return. I love method viewing, Marv.
I was watching I Know What You Did Last Summer last night. That was excellent.
What'd you do last summer?
The show that I told you about that neither one of you or Sergey will watch. I was watching it last night, and I just felt like, because I try to watch something called Outer Banks on Netflix, and I just couldn't get into it. And then I turned on that, and I was like, oh my God, I love this show. I just loved it so much. I watched 2 episodes. It just felt so good.
Maybe soon.
You won't watch it. It's okay. I'm actually going to stop recommending, because I just feel like you guys hate it when I recommend stuff. So I'm not going to even do it anymore.
It's not bad. It's just that right now I have 5 shows I'm watching.
5 shows you're watching, and you have like 500 movies to watch. It's like, you ever see the movie where the person takes the ticket at the counter, or and it's like number 3,000? That's what it feels like.
Beetlejuice?
Yeah. Well, not even that one. There's other ones too, but yeah, that one too.
I was like, Beetlejuice? I was like, we just saw Beetlejuice. No, I mean, that's one of the things though. Like I have a book, 1001 Movies to Watch, and I've had it since 2012, and it's like I'm still marking off movies. Like that book's not going to be finished until I'm like 75.
Which number are you at?
Well, it's alphabetized, so I will pick a movie like here and there, but there's just certain movies that it's just, you know, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's on this list. All right, I'll watch it. And then other movies, it just so happens to interlap with like another type of project that I'm working on. So, but it's cool. Andrew Lay, Howl's Moving Castle is amazing. Best 2D animated movie in my opinion. I can respect that. Jurassic Park's visual effects age like fine wine, and Schindler's List is the most important movie ever made. I can definitely get behind both of these points. I think that Schindler's List is just it's a masterclass. Like it gets better with each viewing. And Jurassic Park is really good, like one of the finest blockbusters. It's a good thing that they ended the franchise there.
They didn't.
I know, I'm messing. They should have though.
Scarlet is the next one.
Film Kid, I'm going to watch Clockwork Orange this November with my aunt. My uncle told me that I might not like it as a movie in general, but I probably will like it in a film standpoint. Yes, the filmmaking is incredible in A Clockwork Orange. And that's a film that gets better with each viewing, I will say. One of my favorite, if not my favorite, soundtracks of all time. Andrew Lake 2001 is amazing. Marv, our conversation can't serve no purpose anymore. Goodbye.
Sorry, Drew.
He's quoting 2001.
That movie is a -5 out of 100. Or -5 out of 10. I hate it.
Oh my gosh. Joseph Guerrero Outer Banks is awesome. New season coming.
I tried. I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
Joseph Guerrero also says, have seen I Know What You Did Last Summer series. Pretty decent new movie talked about for that. To keep that in mind. Film Kit, I have a poster as a scratch off. In every movie that I watch, I scratch off the thing on the poster. I only have like 20 something left. It's pretty impressive, man, honestly. Also, Marv, to answer your question, Megalopolis. So I saw it Thursday. And it is a mess. It's a mess. Like John Voight, Shia LaBeouf, and Aubrey Plaza, they're acting in a completely different movie than what everyone else is putting down. It's a film that also cinematically, like the filmmaking, it's very hit or miss. Like it really is one of those movies where it's really hard to say a broad stroke that something's bad because it's a scene by scene basis. Like you'll have one scene where it's like, oh wow, the cinematography is like outstanding, and then you'll have a next scene and it's like, oh wow, that's some obvious green screening and the lighting is just really kind of overblown. Like what's going on here? And then it has an ending that is just so like naive, I want to say. Like I don't know. I had a tough time with it, man. Like, and I was just thinking, by the end, I was like, you probably shouldn't have said anything about Marvel Cinema because now people have like ammunition against you because.
And I love it. I love it so much.
But that's why I love Scorsese because Scorsese can say whatever he wants because he can make The Irishman, he can make Killers of the Flower Moon, he can make Silence, and it's
both
he's
of
still,
which.
He's still spitting out masterpieces.
Actually, I will actually. I have the perfect counter, because number one, first of all, we have to pray for Francis Ford Coppola. This man blew $150 million of his own money on this garbage, and it's all
120.
No. He did the marketing too.
Oh, he did?
Yes, I read that today. Lionsgate.
No, really?
I did. You can look it up.
So he did that like AI critic marketing. You heard about that, right?
I have not.
Oh, you didn't hear about it?
Mm-mm.
So, dude, I kid you not. Like, I thought it was a joke at first. So the trailer, I think it got pulled. So I don't know if you can find it online, but there was a trailer that was naming all these quotes of critics that were talking about all of like Coppola's past masterpieces, like Apocalypse Now. Mm-hmm. Godfather 1, Godfather 2, The Conversation, like basically pulling all these quotes from critics saying that these movies aren't good and just to, basically showcase that over the course of time, like time will reveal that these are masterpieces because they are looked at that right now. Mm-hmm. But then it turns out that these aren't even critic reviews. These are AI based review. So he literally pulled AI quotes. Apparently Coppola, I thought it was the marketing team.
That was he paid for the marketing. Yes, he did.
That's wild. So yeah, so the trailer got pulled once it got revealed that these critics didn't actually say them. And so it was just like, it was kind of baffling, but also kind of funny. It was like,
well, here's why I'm saying we have to pray for him, man, because he blew a fortune on this nonsense, and it's all red ink. It's like it's not going to profit ever. But
did the Friday numbers come in? I'm curious.
They did. I think it made 1 million or 2.
That's it.
That's it. It's on track. They said it's on track for 4 million for the whole weekend.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and
that's bad. That's really bad.
That's really bad. But here's the deal. Man. All I could think was, you have children, you have grandchildren. Why would you just throw away your fortune on this movie? What about your kids, dude? Like, you could have just gave this to them. You're about to die.
Marv, I wouldn't worry about his kids. I think that's part of the point. His kids, for crying out loud, one of his kids is a director that's like really famous.
Chad, it's $150 million. That's generational wealth.
Yes, but my point is his kids are already rich, so it's not
I
really
said I didn't
affecting
say
them.
rich. I said generational wealth, and he threw it away on a what is not it's not a pipe dream. What is it called? A vanity project? Yes, he threw it away. He threw a fortune away on a vanity project. What is happening here? And I'm
His
mad at him.
kids
I'm
will be
mad.
fine. His kids will be fine. I promise you, Sophia Coppola will be fine.
If I found out my dad threw away $150 million, oh god, I can't. If he just threw it away, I'm like, what? No, oh god, a guy would have got it if he would have did half. I'm like, all right, this is my magnum opus. I got to throw it. I got to do this real quick. That's fine. 70 million, your own money. Nobody else was financing. You want to do it? Go ahead. 150? Nah, bro. Nah. Like his like his grandchildren, man. Oh god, man.
Marv,
This is what Quentin Tarantino means.
would I green light an $150 million project like this? Probably not, because we've seen Coppola work with a constricted budget. We've seen him work in an environment where it's like there's a lot of things that require artistry. So it's like when you have all this money and everything, it's like I don't know. I feel like yeah, it's something he's been working on for 40, 50 years, but I don't say this often, but I do think it probably could have been done for half the amount.
It shouldn't have been done at all, apparently. But
Well,
this is what Tarantino meant when he said he doesn't want to be an old band filmmaker. And now I think that he was absolutely right. Think about it. Ridley Scott makes movies every year, and they're just trash. Trash.
Ridley Scott,
Really.
the Last Duel was excellent.
I never saw The Last Duel, but I'm not talking
There
about
you
that.
go. That was an
I'm talking.
excellent.
I'm talking about what's the movie called? The Counselor. I'm talking about Exodus, Gods and Kings, House of Gucci.
Yeah, but then don't forget about like The Martian. He did The Martian. That was
The
really good.
The Martian and The Last Duel. That's 2 movies. I named like 4.
I'm pretty sure he had a couple others though that were actually pretty good.
I can name them. Let's go through them. I'm gonna go through his hit streak, or I'm gonna go through his.
I'm gonna pull up my list on Letterboxd because I'm pretty sure I might be missing it right now, but I'm pretty sure there was like one or two.
I love Body of Lies, but I know most people don't even know what that is.
I've seen that. Well, I've seen all of his films. Like I actually have a ranking on
I love Body of
YouTube.
Lies. That's one of my favorites.
Really?
His rock, yeah, it is. I love them. I used to when I saw it when I was 15. Well, no, I'm sorry. I saw it when I was 16, and I used to watch it like every week. I used to watch it every week, twice a week. I love that.
I only saw it once. I thought it was kind of, you know,
I know. I love it. Like I know the movie front to back. I've watched it all my teenage years. I watched it. I know every character's name: Hani, Aisha, Russell Crowe's name. I forget his name. What is his name? I forgot.
I can forget his name.
I forgot Russell Crowe's name. I forgot his name in that movie, but I know Leonardo DiCaprio. That's a great. I love that movie, dude. That movie's better than Zero Dark 30. Hot take. Yeah, shots fired. Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Zero Dark 30 is a billion times better. Comment section down below, guys. Body of Lies or Zero Dark 30? Zero Dark 30 is a masterpiece. Body of Lies is a forgettable 2000s knockoff of a Bourne film.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. That's how people look at that movie, but I love it. That movie's fantastic. Great movie.
It's
a great.
If I'm in the mood for Bourne thrills, I'll watch a Bourne film.
See, you're just a hater. Oh God. But that's what I'm saying.
No, I was fine with your opinion. Just when you said it was better than Zero Dark 30, I was like, this guy's on crack.
It is.
That's the conversation for tonight. We're going to be talking about crack.
Leonardo DiCaprio was great in that movie.
All right, here we go. We got some hot takes. So, for the 2010s, my opinion, Alien Covenant. I liked it. Sue me. I also think The Last Duel, as we mentioned, all the money in the world, considering the behind the scenes of that, the fact that it was actually a rock solid film, cool. Mm-hmm. Prometheus, sue me. I like it. And I think that's all he's really done in the 2010s. I mean, he did Robin Hood, which I'm going to say right now, I actually quite like that film a lot.
The movie sucks.
I like Robin Hood 2010.
Prometheus, trash.
Prometheus is gorgeous, man.
It's a beautiful movie. Film. That's what your problem is. You always give it a pass for the filmmaking. Is the story trash? Yes, it's trash.
I don't think the film. I don't think that the story is trash.
The story that we got. Maybe the director's cut is probably great. but the movie we got is absolute garbage. Okay, The Counselor is garbage. Exodus, Gods and Kings is garbage. What was after that?
Counselor I thought was a mixed bag.
No, I watched it. It is one of the worst movies ever made. It is the most
You
dumbest
say
written
that
movie.
about every movie, though.
No, I do not. That movie sucks. It is
Alien
written.
Romulus,
That movie is
2001:
terrible.
Space Odyssey.
No, those are different movies, but they're both terrible. Okay, listen, check it out. All right, listen.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
all ears.
A House of Gucci, trash. Alien Covenant, trash. What's
No
that?
way. House of Gucci wasn't bad. It was just it was alright.
It was trash. Napoleon, trash. Napoleon was
No,
god.
Napoleon was okay.
It
It's not
was
a bad movie.
it was trash. God awful. It was absolute horrendous. It was horrendous. Horrendous.
Did Ridley Scott say something about Marvel movies? Is that why you're hating on all his movies?
He did, but that's not why.
There we go. I knew it. I was like, there's no way. Like all these movies
You
are not bad.
You
Objectively.
can kill it because he's one of my favorite directors. So you can kill that noise. I
Why?
love
'Cause he did Body of Lies, a
First of all,
middle of the road movie.
that movie is a 5-star picture. Okay. Then you have Hannibal.
Yeah, 5 out of 10.
Oh, I hate you. But then you have Hannibal. Okay. Hannibal's one of my childhood favorites. I saw that
Really?
I saw that when I was 9, and I watched it all through childhood. Like I used to these movies I used to watch all the time, Chad. Like I had my
See, as someone that loves the character Hannibal Lecter, I mean, Silence of the Lambs is one of my all-time favorite films. The TV show Hannibal's one of my favorite TV shows. Ridley Scott's rendition it's okay. It's a competent movie. I've seen it twice, but my goodness, it has some issues. But it's also one of those films that I love the filmmaking. Like I love Hans Zimmer's score. Like that's one of his finest.
Chad, you need to understand something, right? If it wasn't for streaming, my Blu-ray collection and my big black suitcase full of DVDs would be out here right now. And Hannibal's in there. And I'm telling you right now, I used to watch it every week, twice a week, 3 times a week.
Honestly, you should get back into physical media because streaming
it's in the closet in my dad's room.
No, I'm saying you should get back into it because at the end of the day, streaming, it's like, movies are constantly leaving the services and it's more compressed as opposed to physical media. You always have it, and at the same time, it's better quality.
It is, but when it's a click away, I can't muster up the energy to just go in there.
So it's more about convenience.
In that regard, yes. But if you ask me if I want to go see a movie in theaters over streaming, theaters all the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, streaming, I just think that, and I said this in my, I'm worried about, with films like upcoming, like it's one of those things that trivializing film to be just, relegated to streaming is something that I'm kind of scared about because it makes it a lot less special and therefore, people are going to take it a lot less seriously. And that's kind of what I'm worried about.
Let me stop you right there. That's exactly what's happened and is going to keep happening. What you're scared about is already done. It's like, remember, I don't know if you ever saw Dark Skies, but when he said you're worried about an invasion, the invasion already happened. They've been here. It's already, what you're worried about is already done, and it's something I had to deal with too. I had to deal with it in 2020. It's sad, but it's the reality that we live in. You don't have to worry about it getting worse. We're at the point now. Like, do you remember when we went to go see Alien? And if you notice, it was like nobody in there, and it's always like that. Like every time I go to the movies now, I'm surprised if I see more than 20 people, literally.
Well, the theater we went to, I mean, it was my first time going, so I can't really, I can't really speak in regards to the crowd size. But the theater I go to, I mean, it's pretty decently packed, and I usually go on Thursday nights.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me.
Like I saw Twisters. Mind you, Twisters, that was a big hit.
Twisters was a packed theater for me. I mean, that was. I'll even say this: Megalopolis, like the theater was pretty packed.
Where that movie made what $1 million? Where was it?
It was Neshaminy. It was
that's
the one
right.
That
You saw it in IMAX, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why it was packed. But no, it's sad, Chad. It is, but I think the COVID did us really did us in, man. It hurt. COVID took a lot from us, and
Yes,
and the sincerity in what made movies special, it wasn't taken away, because people who love movies are going to always love movies. That's not going away. But
True.
but like, for example, one thing that I've come to learn is that there are a lot of people who don't watch movies, at least not anymore. Like there's this girl at my job, right? She said, I don't watch movies. You know what she watches, Chad? You know, she
What?
watches reality TV. She watches Jersey Shore.
Mm-hmm. That it's funny you say it, because I actually a couple of days ago, one of my coworkers, um, one of my other coworkers and I, we were talking about like horror films, because October is right around the corner, and my coworker was asking my other coworker like, "Hey, are you gonna be watching this movie?" And she was like, "I don't really watch movies," and I was like, "Yeah, but you probably binge watch a TV show, right?" She's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's our generation. Like, it's kind of sad. It's like." Our generation is more than okay with binge watching 10 episodes of TV, but God forbid they sit down for 2 hours. Like, I know I sound like a boomer here, but it's like, it just doesn't really make sense to me. Like,
It's a weird dynamic. Like, my sister-in-law, she'll be like, I got to get into this show. She'll lock into the show, and if it's good, it has her all day, all night. Her and my brother. You know what
right.
I'm saying? And my brother was even here a while ago. He was like, bro, I got to get you into some shows. We got to get you into some shows. And mind you, they watch scripted TV too. But the thing,
Well, dirty little secret. Reality TV is outline scripted, but go ahead.
oh no, I know what you mean. I know that, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that, like, when I say like a certain movie, I'll be like, yeah, it's 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. I'm like, what? You just watched that for 6 hours straight,
Yeah.
right?
It's like, bro, like there's been movies that have been 4 hours
I
in
think
cinema. Like,
that
it's not that big of a deal.
I think that because I think the thing is that it's something that I was warned about when I was in college.
Pension
That,
spin?
yes, I was warned about
Yeah.
this back then, and I was like, "Oh, stop it! That's not going to happen." It did happen. It even happened to me. Like, like, that's why, if you ever, on a quick side note, that's why when sometimes you tell me to watch certain things, I literally can't watch them because, well, it's twofold. Number one, attention spans are lower, but second, and I guess as a part of number one, I'm getting older. So like now I'm more selective with my time. So it's like I can't really like certain movies or certain shows, like even shows that I might be somewhat interested in. I am like, I don't think I can do it because there's other options. You see what I'm saying? That's the dilemma that we're in. And
Well, but I think
you know,
that's just it. With
hold that
I'm on
thought.
the same page as you with TV shows, because, for example, a TV show like, I don't know, Homeland, which I have interest in, I know that that's something that's like 70, 80 hours of my time. But
Mhm.
with a film, for me, I'm more willing to, give a film a chance if it has like mixed reviews or even low reviews, because that's only 2 hours of my time, as opposed to, oh, I heard this show is kind of middle of the road. So let me blow 80 hours to find out if it's middle of the road or if I'm actually going to like it. You know what I'm
The
saying? Like, but
the
that's just
remedy the remedy for that is, if I do watch the show, if I like it, then I can just go ahead and keep on with it. If I don't like it, then I just cut it. I'm like, I don't like this.
right.
That's how I fix it. Like the show Outer Banks, right? I might give it another chance, but I watched about a half hour and I was like, yeah, no, no. And I put on something that I knew I liked. And I think I think a part of that was COVID though. And also, Chad, you got to think about this too, buddy, is that it's the change. I really think there's something wrong with the filmmaking today. It doesn't seem to have that like it used to. Not to say
Well, you
all.
know why, right?
Go ahead.
So the reason why is because a lot of times movies that are on streaming, they know that people are on their phones, so they have to almost serve as like background. So that's why you'll have certain movies that feel like background movies, because they don't have that immediate hook or that urgency that a filmmaker like, I don't know, Paul Greengrass or even someone like Ridley Scott. It's like that's one of the reasons why. Like, there's so many movies. Like, for example, um, Apartment 107A, which I saw last night. That movie, at first, I was like, this isn't a streaming movie. Like, this could have been in theaters, because it hooked me in within the first 10 minutes because I understood where the character was coming from. But as the film progressed, I was like, streaming movie. This makes sense. Like, it's a movie that you can put on in the background, and it's like, oh, I've seen this before. It's pretty much Rosemary's Baby if it was made by a F plus director. Got it. And that's just it. A lot of streaming movies just, I don't know, they have that mentality of just.
But I think what you said earlier was the key, though. The generation that we coming up in doesn't respect or value movies,
and business, and streaming business owners, they know that, so they will make movies that are geared towards that, which is why you'll have people look at Netflix's top 10 as opposed to actually doing the research of, oh wow, this director, I liked that movie, let me check out this director's other filmography. Oh, let me check out this director's new movie.
But all hope is not lost. People still love movies, Chad. I'm not even talking about movie buffs. I'm talking about just regular people.
They do, but here's something that made me realize, and this isn't even about taste. This is just something that just kind of fascinates me. Talking about attention span. Last Saturday, I had a movie night. I think it was, I want to say 6 people, something like that. 6 people with very different tastes, but I showed them the French Connection. It won Best Picture in 1971. It's most famous for winning, I think it was like 5, 6 Oscars, and it was a huge success with critics and audiences. Like, audiences loved this film in 1971, specifically the car chase. But showing a bunch of people this film now, when it ended, a couple said it was okay, but mostly they were just kind of like bored with it. Like, this film that was groundbreaking when it came out and really set the template for this genre is a film that now people just don't really have the attention span for. And again, I'm saying this as someone that respects my friends, like, point of view and everything, but it was just kind of like, wow, like, it's just crazy how like 50 plus years later, a film that was a huge success just now doesn't have that same impact with a lot of people. So
it's a lot of
crazy.
things. There's a lot of things, Chad. Well, we spoke about it before, right? Like, I think a lot of movies of yesterday are what's valued most. Like, even people who don't like movies for whatever reason today, if you put on a movie from yesteryear, they'll be into it, as opposed to something from now. I'm not really sure why, but like, movies that'll always work in this day and age. Horror is going to always work, always.
Because it's cheap and you can find directors that have a voice.
No, not even just that. Not even just that. But the thing about horror movies, and I've realized this since I was a kid, is that, how we talk about this generation, right? Horror works in every generation. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you go back, let's go back to Halloween, when Halloween came out, right? We weren't there, but I mean, we know the impact. Like,
oh yeah, I mean,
lines around the block to watch it. You know what I mean? Controversy. Then
one of the most impactful independent films too.
Absolutely,
because the budget was very small, but
but here comes the cycle, right? Let's look at the cycle that was created, because it's all about cycles, Chad. Then you get Friday the 13th, right? Boom.
Well, that's what I was actually going to talk to you about, Marv. Like, I don't know if we've discussed this before, but I know it's going to sound wild, but economy also has a lot to play in regards to films being made.
Absolutely.
When the economy is down, studios are going to have a lot less of a want to actually make, experimental films, or like, give people a huge budget. They want to have more of like, the safe IP based movies. I mean, you look at, don't get me wrong, I want to preface this, every decade there are great movies. There's also bad movies, middle of the road movies. This is every single generation in regards to each decade. But my point is, you can look at certain decades and be like, oh wow, the economy was really good, and it shows because the movies, there was a lot of experimentation going on. Like, in regards to America, you have the 1980s, which is a film industry that at that point was making all these, big blockbusters. They weren't as experimental as like the 1970s. And then you cut to like now, it's like the 2020s. It's like, it's still kind of like, so we haven't gotten as many,
I think that you skipped over the 90s though, bud. The 90s. The
90s was, I would say, pretty darn good.
The 90s were special. They were special.
Well, it's just like the 70s. You had auteur directors that were given like carte blanche to do whatever. You had so many filmmakers that were born from this ability of like, hey, here's a couple million, here, use your cameras, go ahead, make something. Like Kevin Smith, good example. Like,
do you know that many perceive 1999 to be the greatest year in movie history? Do you know that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's one of the best for sure. Would you agree?
I would have to. I would say 1999, Uh, I want to go out on a limb. Um, I don't know if that probably doesn't sound right, but I was going to say 2018, but I don't think I can do that. I got to tell me. Let me take that back.
No, no, 2018 was a great year. Like that was actually insane. Like I was thinking about that today. It's funny you mentioned that year because earlier today I filmed my Francis Ford Coppola ranking video, but I
Mm.
also filmed my my top 101 to 150 favorite films of all time. And in that list there's a lot of 2018 films and I was thinking about it and how that was a year where even films that weren't honorable mentions on my list were films that I still loved, like that I thought were really, really good. Like it was just wild how many really, really good films. And I would say 2019, like the only year in the last 7, 8 years that I would argue is a bad year was 2020. And that's just because we had a pandemic. So there
I
was
don't think
so
that doesn't count. That does not count. 2020 can't count.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like that year I give kind of a pass because we had, I think it was up till March, and then we had a couple months at the end of the year, but at that point it was like too little, too late. So
I think the worst year in film, and for my money, for in recent memory, was 2015.
really,
Mm-hmm.
see, I don't agree with that.
I'm sure you wouldn't, but I feel the way strongly ever since then.
That's another. See, it's funny because that's another year where a lot of 2015 films are in my top 250 favorite films of all time. Like,
I'll give you my two favorites though, and they're back to back.
which was it?
2013 and 2014. Two of my favorite years in movie history. I love them. I love it. To this day, that time period is just very nostalgic for me. It doesn't haunt me, it enchants my brain. Like that time for movies. Not only did a lot come out in those 2 years, but they were different. Like just going by now, or even 5 years ago when it was like Disney everything. Uh those years felt like the last of, well, not, it was more after that, obviously, but those 2 years were like the peak. Like after that, we never got that again. As far as like the diversity of what was coming out, the it was like it varied in quality, but it was still like different flavors for, I guess, everybody.
But
And like,
2015, we had Ex Machina, we had Mad Max Fury Road,
keep
we
going.
had Carol, we had Spotlight, we had Creed, we had Brooklyn, we had Hateful Eight. I'm not the biggest fan of it now, but we had Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Which every year ages like milk.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I'm saying that like they're I don't know, but that's what I always make the argument of
Well,
how they're so
go to
great films.
2013 though. Let's go for it. All right. So, mind you, I'm going to name just a bunch of movies. I'm not even going to name them in terms of like what made our best. This might be on your worst list, but I'm going to just speak to the diversity of what was coming out. You ready?
Yeah, I mean we can, but that's what I'm saying. Like every year has that diversity. Like even to
No, no, no,
this
no, no, no,
day,
no.
like
These movies to this day are in my brain. Like, let me start from the top. Mind you, this first.
well, I'm gonna cut you off right there, Mark. But that's my point. Like we still have 3 more months, and there's films that this year are ingrained in my brain. Challengers, Strange Darling, The Substance,
Ouch.
Dune Part Two. Like and we still have 3 more months, and we have a bunch of Oscar contenders that are probably going to be good.
They're going to
This is
suck.
this is 2024.
2013 and 2014 were the peak. I'm trying to let you know. It
I
was
disagree.
you, Captain Phillips.
I
Let's
love
go.
Captain Phillips.
The Heat.
Mm,
But I love the Heat. You hush.
it's all right.
You hush your mouth.
It's all right.
I really love Gravity. Um,
I really like Gravity.
Elysium, uh,
Yeah,
The Conjuring, The
yeah,
Wolverine.
yeah.
What was July 12th? Oh, that was Pacific Rim, which I hate. But even though I
Such a great year for cinema.
no. But here's what. But let me speak to it though. I hate it because I don't I forget who likes anime in here, but that's a movie for that crowd. And I was excited to see it, but I just think that Del Toro didn't execute it right. That's why I'm not a fan of his. Um, what else
Wait,
came
wait,
out?
wait, wait, wait. You don't like Del Toro?
You know that I don't like him.
Oh, Marv.
Yeah, I really like Mimic. Remember we talked about this. I love Mimic. I watched it a lot as a child,
Oh yeah.
and I love Blade too. And
It's funny because those two are at like the very bottom of my list personally.
I want to watch Shape of Water.
Excellent film.
And I think Crimson Peak is okay.
Yeah, it's solid.
But what else came out? White House Down, which I really love.
Dude, that was the first time I think that I almost wanted to walk out of a theater.
Why? Because it's so silly.
Because I was just like, wow, I could just rewatch Die Hard. Like I think it was one of the first times I realized that there are certain films that are just like a copy and paste of other films, and it's like Roland Emmerich didn't really do anything.
That movie was clearly a knockoff, but it was a joyful knockoff. I loved it.
Garbage.
That was not a homage.
Olympus Has Fallen is better. I'm not even a big fan of that movie.
No. That's what I was going to get to that next. I don't know, but I like White House Down over that one. I think Olympus Has Fallen tries too hard.
They both do.
The Lone Ranger, Chad. The Lone Ranger is great.
I like The Lone Ranger. That's one of my favorite action scenes of 2013, if not my favorite.
Absolutely. Man of Steel, one of the greatest comic movies ever. Okay.
Not one of my favorite ever, but I really like Man of Steel.
Would you agree that it is one of the most unique?
Yes, 100%.
Right, my point exactly. You would never get a movie like that today.
I mean, we got Batman v Superman in 2016. That was pretty.
But look what happened. It was chopped to bits, and that was I said today. That was 8 years ago.
I know, it's wild.
Star Trek Into Darkness, which I really loved. I saw
that film. I loved in 2013. It's gotten worse. The more I think about it, the more I'm just like.
What about Oblivion?
I like Oblivion. I really like the score for that, especially, and I just also love the production design.
The Great Gatsby.
Good soundtrack, good filmmaking. Too long. Yeah, it's okay. I guess.
Did you we had Catching Fire. That's the best movie of that year, by the way.
I mean, it was in my top 10 at first in 2013, but now it wouldn't even be an honorable mention.
That's terrible. You need to watch it again. That movie's
excellent. I did. I sold my Blu-ray. Like I thought it's good.
What?
It's good. It's good.
What?
No, you're forgetting 2013. You're forgetting.
I didn't even get to 2014 yet.
Well, you're 2013. You're forgetting Prisoners.
It's not better than Catching Fire.
That's 100%. Comment section down below. Catching Fire or Prisoners? Prisoners is a billion times better.
No, it's not. Catching Fire is a masterpiece. I love that movie.
You are tripping. There is no way that Catching Fire is better than Prisoners.
Why not? Why not?
First of all, if we're looking at the filmmaking is
what?
The filmmaking is a billion times better. That Catching Fire has that Francis Lawrence cinematography where it's all sleep inducing. Like that's a film that you could put on and fall asleep to with the way it's shot. Prisoners, it's very atmospheric. It's very tonally consistent. Catching Fire, it's just one of those films that the more you watch it, the less impact it has. Prisoners,
that's bull
you watch
crap.
It,
that's
the more
bull
layers you notice. That you peel back those layers, and
are you kidding me?
It's got an incredible ending. Catching Fire's ending, as someone that read the book,
is awesome. That is awesome.
I like the ending of the first Hunger Games better, honestly.
The first Hunger Games is trash.
I think that Hunger Games, the first two Hunger Games are very flawed, but in different ways. I like the ending of the first Hunger Games more, but I like Catching Fire, the first two acts, more than the first Hunger Games. But hearsay, near say. Either way, Prisoners, 5 out of 5, masterpiece. Just
you're smoking dope. Hunger Games,
no way.
Catching Fire.
I guarantee you, if we look at the comment section, there's not going to be someone that's like, "Oh yeah, Catching Fire is better."
They haven't seen it in a long time. It's the only way. It's the only explanation.
No. Prisoners is a billion times better.
I just watched Prisoners. It's great. Catching Fire is Empire.
Catching Fire
is Empire Strikes Back. Literally.
It's a middle chapter that has nowhere to go because then the sequels aren't as good.
That doesn't mean it had nowhere to go because it would have been.
You can't watch Catching Fire on its own. It doesn't hold up on its own.
Yes, you can. That movie is fire. I watch it all. I don't watch it all the time, but I used to.
I was going to say, I don't see you logging on Letterboxd.
I watch it every day. I'm not going to log it every time. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? You know I don't. But Catching Fire is a 25 out of 10. You know that.
25 out of 10. Marv, you are smoking some high quality crack. There is no way Catching Fire
Chad,
is better.
the writing is great. The story is great. The acting is great. The filmmaking is great. The production design is great. Everything, the world building is great. Everything
It's
about it is fantastic.
competent. But in some ways, it does feel kind of a soft reboot of the first one.
I buy that because the first one is so awful. But so what? It's still a great movie.
They are both, I think I gave both of them a 3.75 out of 5. They are both solid films.
No,
Prisoners is a 5 out of 5, no question about it. That's one of those films that really changed my life.
you still didn't say why Catching Fire is not great. You haven't said why you have. All you said is that you don't like
So
the
one of the
cinematography.
yes, because it could put you to sleep. I think one of the big things, besides it being in many ways a soft reboot, is that there's just no lasting impact. Like, as someone that loved it when it first came out and has seen it a couple times over the years, it's one of those films where what you see is what you get. There's no real return factor of when I rewatch it, there's more layers that I peel back. And that's fine in some regards. But a film like this, where I'm not a fan of the third and fourth entry, it just doesn't make me want to rewatch the second one. Like, when I rewatched the first two Hunger Games, what was it, 3-4 years ago? After I watched it, I was like, it's fine. It's not bad. But then I sold my Blu-ray.
You just
Prisoners, I got that Blu-ray and I've been
ripped
rewatching it.
my heart out. I love Catching Fire, and you just took a crap all over it.
I want to see the comment section for this. Let's go to this because we haven't gone to the comment section. Firstly, Film Kit says, I saw The Matrix in theaters last Sunday. If you ever get the chance to watch it in theaters, I would highly recommend it. I did that, 5 years ago when it was in Dolby. Really good experience. I showed my dad the critic trailer in Megalopolis, and it didn't look right at first. And once I heard about the controversy, I started dying laughing. Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same page. Andrew Lay, a couple of kids right now help. Our dad just blew our house mortgage and wine business to put his drug trip on video. Pretty much. Andrew Lay, don't worry, Marv. Sophia will be dressing like Marie Antoinette for a long time. Andrew Lay saw Body of Lies recently. Respect, but didn't enjoy. Meh. Godzilla, since 2007, Ridley's only good movie are American Gangster, The Martian, and The Last Stool. American Gangster's great.
Where is Body of Lies? What is happening here?
Body of Lies is at the bottom of the sea, Marv. Joseph Guerrero, Zero Dark 30 over Body of Lies. There we go. Film Kit, I haven't seen Body of Lies. Keep it that way unless you're trying to do a Ridley Scott ranking. Bootzilla, I like Ridley, but he's had a lot of misses in the last 20 years. That's fair. He's like 50-50 for me these days. Marv, you have no say. Your favorite movie was Madam Web.
It's really not, though. He's lying.
That's in your top 4 on Letterboxd. Everybody knows that.
Shut up, Chad. Joe, he's lying to you. That's not my favorite movie. I hate that movie with all my heart and soul.
Andrew Lay, Ridley
my
Scott.
favorite movie is How to Be Single.
Indeed. Andrew Lay, Ridley Scott, post 2010. I only haven't seen Robin Hood and didn't like House of Gucci and The Counselor. The rest I really enjoyed, including Alien prequels, Napoleon, Exodus. Very fair. Film Kit, I feel like as a kid I have a solid attention span. Yeah, I would say it seems that way. I mean, you watch a lot of films that I wouldn't think that someone your age would watch. So I respect. Andrew Lay, I worked at a cinema. "Quote unquote good business movies are always kid animation and horror." Yeah, that's what Marv was saying. So I agree. Just where I need to watch Strange Darling. Yeah, Strange Darling is fantastic. Marv, you need to watch that too. That's a really good film.
What is that about?
Well, the less you know, the better. But basically, in short, it's about a serial killer, like going after a girl. That's all I'm going to say.
No, tell me what it's about.
That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say because I didn't even know that going into it.
I'm going to watch the preview.
You can watch the preview. I hope it doesn't spoil anything because that's a film that I think it's only like 90 minutes, but it's everything I like in horror. It is excellent. Joseph Guerrero, Pacific Rim was hot garbage. I thought it was solid, but I haven't had the urge to watch it since I saw it in theaters. Andrew Lay, 2019 rules for me, and with it preceding 2020, it's like looking down the Mariana Trench from Mount Everest.
I could see that.
Yeah, 2019 was great. That was a great year.
I can't say it. I can't say that. I can't. And it's weird because I always thought that would be the great year, but I can't. it was not enough on the bone for me in that year. There's a lot of I don't
Oh,
know.
look at this. Joseph Guerrero. Oh, no, Chad, don't hate on the Hunger Games series. Grr. Prisoners by far. Bootzilla, you're in the house. Can't articulate. What is up, y'all? Can't
What's up?
articulate.
What's up, CA?
Dude, I saw that you just finished Twin Peaks: The Return. I'm very happy to hear that. I think that you loved it, which is awesome. I just finished episode 16 before doing the live stream, so I just have 2 more episodes, and then I'm finished my rewatch. Andrew Lay, Chad and Marv are reenacting the presidential debate over 2013 movies at Can't Articulate.
Yeah.
Now all we need to do is Marv and I just need to talk about cats and dogs.
No, actually, right before you got on, my dad was saying that they're eating the cats. He was like, "Son, people are laughing at us. They're eating the cats. They're eating
the cats." Dude, Nicola and I literally turned to each other when he said that, like on air. We just were like, "What's he talking about?" And dude, one of my friends used to live in Ohio, so I reached out to him. I was like, "Yo, dude, like, are people eating cats and dogs in Ohio?" He's like, "Chad, it's not immigrants that are eating cats and dogs in Ohio. It's the actual residents there." I just started busting up laughing. Oh, it's so ridiculous. Just a girl. I haven't seen Prisoners, so I need to see. I like Hugh Jackman and Jake G. Dude, you have to watch Prisoners. Let me actually check streaming right now to see where, because you need to watch ASAP. It actually takes place in PA too, which is all the more like haunting. But it's think of it in the vein of like Seven. It's really good. It's on HBO Max. HBO Max, everyone needs to watch Prisoners. This is one of those films that I remember seeing the trailer several times in 2013. And I remember when I would bring it up to people, like how I'm so excited for it, people were like, "I don't know what that is." But then it's like over the course of time, it's one of those films that now everyone's like, "Oh, it's such a great film." And I'm like, "Yeah, I told you dummies back in 2013." Like it's a really, really good film that it's like a gut punch. It's so good. I love it.
It's a very good movie. It's a very good movie. It actually no nonsense, Chad. When I was in Job Corps, I wrote a Halloween movie, right? No lie. I wrote a Halloween movie because in Job Corps you have a lot of time on your hands, right? And I remember it was around Halloween season, and I got in that mood, and I just started. I watched Halloween. And I wrote my own Halloween movie, right? And Prisoners was what inspired it. It's what kind of like got the ball rolling for me. And I thought like if you made a Michael Myers movies with that type of approach, it worked pretty well in my opinion. I wish I still had it. I would like let you see it.
I would be curious, yeah, like a Halloween movie done in the vein of like Prisoners.
It-
Like almost like imagine if, without spoiling Prisoners, almost like if Mike Myers got like captured. Like I feel like that'd be something that'd be fascinating.
I mean, you just saw that with the movies. He was captured.
What?
And Michael Myers was captured.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to be vague here for those that haven't seen Prisoners, but like captured in that way, like in Prisoners. You know what I'm saying?
That.
Yeah. No. I'm not talking about just how he's like, just standing, like waiting for, a couple people to interview him to then, cause him to finally wreak havoc after 40 years. No, not that. Like take Prisoners, like that whole concept, but put Mike Myers in it. Yeah, I think it'd be fascinating.
I was meaning like kind of like how the Prisoner starts off. I always thought it had a strong hook, like how
Yes.
it in the story. So that was my jumping off point, and I thought
I also think that Prisoners is one of those films that it's really incredible how I took it the first time I saw it, and to this day I still look at it as a plunge into moral complexity and how there's no easy answers with this film, and even the ending itself, it appears to almost be happy, but it really isn't. It's actually like very tragic.
I won't lie. I kind of think you're overselling it at this point. Because what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What do you mean it's a tragic ending? No, it's not.
I think it's. I'm not going to spoil it on here. We can
I'm not
talk there about it.
I'm not going to spoil it either. But it's not a.
It's a very tragic. Dude, it's a very tragic ending. Like
no, it's not. It's actually a happy. It's a happy ending.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But you're proving my point.
But
But you're proving my point right now is that You interpret it as a happy ending. I don't interpret it as a happy ending. I interpret it as a very sad ending. In fact, I'll never forget the first time I saw it. John and I, you remember John,
Mm-hmm.
we were supposed to watch a movie afterwards, and we didn't because we just were still reeling from that gut punch of an ending.
How was
And
that a
that's
punch? That was a relief. That was a sigh of relief.
no. No, it really again, I'm not gonna say anything, especially knowing that I don't know if the others have seen it yet, but knowing Joe hasn't seen it, I want to hear his thoughts like afterwards. But I do not think it's a very happy
a
ending.
gut punch.
We know the law, but that's the thing, Mark. We know the laws in PA, so it really isn't a happy ending.
Chad, when literally, without spoiling anything, when the ending happened, I was like, "Oh wow, yay!" Literally, I just watched it a couple months ago. I was like, "Oh, whoo!"
But that's just it. Like you're not thinking about the underlying issues that are going to come up.
Yes,
Again,
I
not
am.
going to spoil anything.
Yes, hold up. Without spoiling anything, I feel like we're tiptoeing. We got to get to.
I think it's 7-8 years. So just going to say,
stop spoiling stuff. Shut up, man.
I'm just saying the length of time. I'm saying that.
Listen. Listen, I'm going to indulge you, and we're going to move into the Batman topic that we have to get to. Okay.
Well, actually, first we gotta. Sorry, we are still behind, Marv.
Oh, go ahead.
Film kit. I haven't even seen Prisoners. I know it's 10 times better than Catching Fire, and don't even
Hush.
say that I haven't watched Catching Fire recently. I watched it less than a year ago. Yeah, watch Prisoners. It's excellent. Bootzilla Prisoners stays with you after you see Catching Fire. You move on to the next thing. I love this.
You guys are haters.
Film kit. Catching Fire also too long and has some pacing issues. Yeah. Just aware they are different types of movie, though. This is true. This is very true. Not pacing. I got you, film kid. Yes, I agree. The original Hunger Games is better.
What? Oh my god!
I enjoy the first Hunger Games more.
I have the book. Actually, hold on. I'll show it to you. Actually, I don't know if I can.
Angela, I haven't seen any Hunger Games and Hesitate too because I had a coworker I really hated.
These are the books right here, Chad.
Oh wow, yeah, I actually have that exact set. Yeah, Andrew Lay's not gonna watch Hunger Games movies because he had someone like a coworker that wouldn't shut up about that.
You're doing yourself a disservice. You don't have to
watch it. Haven't seen Strange Darling. Please don't spoil it. I will not, and that's one of the reasons why I'm telling Marv that you go into it knowing as little as possible. And I promise you, it's like it's not the exact type of film, but what was that film called? I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but there was a film that came out a couple years ago where it was also similar in that you want to know as little as possible going into it. And I Strange Darling, I really emphasize that. Great film. The substance also was great in that regards. I didn't know what the substance was about. Bootzilla, Pacific Rim is not garbage. Had one of the best in-theater experiences even for that movie. It is an awesome, fun movie. I had fun with it, but I remember having issues with it.
I fell asleep.
Joseph Guerrero.
Worst acting ever.
Prisoners will watch tonight. Check. Love it. I want to hear your thoughts on Prisoners because it's excellent. And the cinematography, like, holy cow, just like, oh, it's so good. It really is. Denis Villeneuve is like Francis Lawrence. Angela low-key prefer Enemy over Prisoners from Villeneuve that year. That is fair. I think that Enemy is quite good. Marv, have you seen Enemy?
I have not.
I don't think you would like it, but it is Denis Villeneuve's film that came out.
I know what it is. I know it. I just never watched it. Probably never will watch it.
Stuckman did actually a pretty good analysis of
I didn't see the video, but I know he has it.
Yeah, it's actually, I think it's one of the films that got him on the map.
Like, it was, but I have no interest in watching it. At least right now, I don't.
It's fair, but I will say it is quite good. I've seen that film so many times. Joseph Guerrero, Pacific Rim is a Transformers knockoff, Garbo, but I haven't really liked much Transformers either since cartoon original. Michael Bay, blah. Yeah, Marv doesn't like Michael Bay either.
I love Michael Bay.
I know, I'm messing.
Michael Bay is one of my favorites. If I had to name them, I would put Nolan. He's earned that right. 2, I'd have to go Tarantino. 3, I think 3 would have to be Michael Bay. 3 would
That's
have
fair.
to. 3 would have. Really, Scott can't be 3 because he's hit and miss.
Godzilla Pacific Rim is way better than the Transformers. You're wrong, fool. Oh, shots fired. Just a rare new Transformers 1, I think it's called. Getting good reviews, though.
Transformers 1 and Transformers 3 are fire.
Oh, no, he's talking about there's actually a Transformers movie called
I know, but I'm talking about the first one is way better than Pacific Rim. Let's keep it real. Transformers 07 was the movie of a generation. When that movie came out, literally everybody went to go see it. Everyone. And everybody was excited and everybody loved it.
You're saying it's a generational movie?
It is. I'm not saying it's like a masterpiece or anything like that, but as far as like it was a moment in time, that's for sure.
I enjoy it, but it was probably like my 40th favorite film of 2007.
Yeah, that's you, Chad. I remember what that felt like. Actually, that's another great year of movies that we didn't get a chance to talk about. 07 was it, and that was the number one movie in terms of people getting excited and going like that. I remember that. Like everybody was like, "Yo, Transformers coming out! Oh my God, Transformers! Those special effects." That's what people were saying. People were talking about
even back then, nostalgia sold.
I mean, for sure. But that movie was like people were talking about that months and months in advance. And when it came out on a Tuesday, and mind you, that was new for movies to come out on Tuesday. It came out on a Tuesday, July 3rd. And I remember that day, people were like, it was selling out crazy. I couldn't even go see it until that Sunday because it was sold out everywhere. And then the second one, which we all know is not good, but I still love it though. It's not good, but I love it.
The second one is like my go-to movie of like, yeah, this is what happens when there's a writer's strike. Like,
absolutely, that one and Quantum of Solace.
I think yes, but I think my favorite thing about Transformers 2 is that the first one he was carrying an entire big block of I forget what's it called, not the Tesseract. What's the cube called?
The Tesseract.
It is is it? I thought that was Avengers.
I think they're both called the Tesseract.
That's so stupid. Anyways, the Tesseract. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think you're right, actually.
They're both cubes.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, the first Transformers, he has the Tesseract and he's carrying it. He's completely fine. And then the second one, he has a little piece on his shirt and it makes him go all like
what is that one? What is that one called? I forget. The Shard. The
Shard. Oh gosh.
Right, but even that one, Chad, no lie. For a week straight, I tried to go see that movie and I couldn't. It was sold out everywhere. This is what I'm talking about movies back then. Like the whole world was going to go see this movie. Like I couldn't see it anywhere. Every theater I went to sold out so all day. And we finally went. It came out on a Wednesday. We saw it the next Wednesday, or was it that? It was that Tuesday, and we couldn't see it until 9:15. Sold out, crowded, every seat filled. That's what I miss about movies. And Transformers was great. It brought people to the theater. It was a great time. Movie's not good. The Transformers 2 is not good, but I still love it.
I think I only saw Transformers 4 in theaters. I mean, I saw Bumblebee in theaters too. And then what's the newest one?
What you did not love, and I told you it would get good reviews.
Yeah, I still don't like Bumblebee. I gave that a second chance.
97%.
I don't know how.
Because it's good.
Can't articulate. It's Criminal Strange Darling was only in theaters for like 2 weeks. Yeah, unfortunately, because it's an independent film, like if they're lucky, they'll get a 2-week release. But I do agree, like that should have played out for a month, so that way more people would find it. But who knows? Maybe streaming people will catch it. I hope they do. Film Kid, well, I gotta go, but have a good live. Thanks, man, dude. It's good talking to you.
Good talking to you.
Joseph Guerrero, your opinion boots, and you're the only fool. Bootzilla, I know it's my opinion, and it's the correct opinion. That's why I said it. Oh,
it's getting spicy in here.
Joseph Guerrero, incorrect. Can't articulate. I didn't even know Joker comes out next Friday. I still haven't seen Megalopolis. My October is so booked with movies and new shows. Dude, same. October is going to be like honestly insane with how much is going on.
This is going to be a good month.
Oh, Marv, look at this. This is getting crazy. Bootzilla, I know you're incorrect. Joseph Guerrero, this just saying Bootzilla is a moron.
Jesus Christ.
Right, mama. Holy cow. Bootzilla, go cry to your boyfriend.
All right,
I was
listen.
too busy
I
railing your
want to say this here. As long as we're keeping it nice and cool, okay. We don't need a Drake versus Kendrick in here, okay.
a Joe versus Boot.
Yeah, we don't need this.
Oh,
Dan, all right, no, hold up, guys. Let's keep it respectful, okay. Let's keep it respectful, please. Let's let's not get too overboard. All right, we're all here because we love movies.
oh. Andrew Lay, my parents love Michael Bay's Pearl Harbor.
My dad does.
I mean, yeah, I liked it when I was 14, but it's because I wanted to see explosions.
I think Lone Survivor is better.
I mean, Lone Survivor's solid. It's a good sound mix.
Lone Survivors are pretty great. I love the way it's shot. What do you think? You like the way it's shot?
It's solid. I mean, I think that film, I more so think about the sound mixing because it's such a unique sound mix, which is why when it got an Oscar nomination for sound mixing, I was like, there we go. It makes sense. In terms of that director, I actually prefer Patriots Day far more.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's a great movie.
It's funny because it has, I didn't realize it when Patriots Day first came out, but it has I forget the actor's name, but he was in Hereditary.
Alex Wolff.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was in Patriots Day until like when I rewatched. I was like, oh yeah, like
that's a great movie. It's a great movie. Have you ever seen Friday Night Lights?
No, I still need to watch that. There are a couple of Peter Berg films I still need to watch before I can rank his work. Damn. But that is one of them. I do need to watch that.
That is a movie that I literally watch. I've probably, in the past 4 years since I've seen it, I've probably watched it like 50 times.
You've seen that movie 50 times?
It's so good.
Did you watch the show as well? I know that they made
a show. I tried. I couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into it because it felt like it was like a copy of the show. I mean, of the movie, I mean. But it's like the movie with different characters and stuff. But it's like instead of a movie, you're getting a show. Whereas you got this story as a movie, you're kind of like getting it like broken down into like 8 or 10 episodes a season. And I guess that's cool and all. I'm not knocking it. But because I had just watched the movie and then I jumped to the show, I was like, it feels like I'm watching the movie again now. I was like, I don't need to do that.
So it almost feels like reheated leftovers, if you will.
Kind of. That's what it felt like. Because same style and everything. And I was like, I don't know about this. It doesn't. Nah.
I'll just watch the movie then when
I'm not mistaken. I believe the wife from the movie is in the show as the wife, but it's different cast everywhere else. She's like, I don't know if she's playing the same wife or a different wife, but it's just she's playing the same role. And I'm like, this is distracting. I can't get into this right now. But the movie I love. The movie is awesome. I literally compare watching that to watching Avengers Endgame. Seriously.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's how I feel. I don't think that you'll care for it too much. Not that you think it's bad or anything, but I don't expect you'll like it. Like, you have to like football to really love that movie. Like, if you love football, you'll love that movie. And I just don't.
I mean, you know me. I used to love football, which is why.
No.
Which is why years ago I almost watched Friday Night Lights, but I forget what happened. I think I got it out from the library, but I think I got out like a bunch of movies, and that was just one of the ones that I didn't watch before my hold was up. But it's on my radar. I have a couple other Peter Berg films I still have to watch, like that. I have to watch The Kingdom.
The Kingdom is good.
I've heard it's good. I've heard it's good. There's another film of his that I still haven't seen. I've seen Hancock. I've seen Battleship. I've seen Patriots Day, Lone Survivor. There's one other one that I haven't seen, but we have a bunch of other comments. Just agree, yes, agree. Marv Transformers original over Pacific Rim job.
Yep, absolutely.
Just agree, Transformers just because like Fast and Furious with so many sequels. Andrew Lay, Tesseract are literally cubes. Remind me, how many Tesseracts of sugar do you put in your coffee, Marv?
I don't put a lot anymore, if I'm being honest. I try to be conscious of the fact that like too much sugar can kill you, especially now that Chad is like kind of like monitoring it a little bit.
I will say, Marv, I almost had a heart attack the other day, in a good way.
Word?
Seeing you send me the nutrition facts, like the back label of nutrition facts, it almost gave me a heart attack in a good way. I was like, yes. I was like, this is progress because you're looking at the back of labels and It's good. It's very good.
It's not, I'm not all the way there. I still have need to make more progress, but I did try
Baby
this week.
steps. Baby steps.
I did still fail because I tried to like live off of protein shakes. It did not work. It did
Well,
not work.
you can't live off it. You just want to use protein shakes for like one meal a day.
No, I was trying to like use that as my meals all day, and I got hungry. Right,
No, no, no. You got
I,
to console me with this type of stuff. I would have told you flat out that's a terrible idea.
I got hungry really fast. I was like, oh no, I
Yes.
didn't think this one through because I had like probably 8 protein shakes. I was like, all right, I'm good for the day.
You had
No,
8 protein shakes?
yeah, I was chucked, but mind you, it was only 10 milligrams. So
Wait, 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 wait. The protein shakes that you're having are only 10 grams of protein?
the bottles that I had were 10 milligrams. And my boss to me said, no, Marv, you got to go to the vitamin shop, get you the big jug. Like I got 50 milligrams. So if you every cup that you make is 50 milligrams. And I said, I do two cups back to back. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do that then. And he also told me about creatine as well. And I got to get on that as well.
No, don't do creatine.
I've heard great things about creatine. I can like really get like strong and stuff, Chad. I can get
As someone that I did creatine when I was young.
I got my weight right here. He said he literally told me, he said, Marv, if I said, listen, I'm gonna take a whole thing of creatine. I'm gonna take 2 cups a day. He said, no, Marv, you're gonna want to kill somebody. You're gonna be that juiced up. I'm like, really?
No,
like,
Mara, as someone that when I was a young teenager, I took creatine. You don't want to take creatine. Just
why?
because first of all, it's not really that good for you health wise. Second of all, it's not really something that you need. You're just starting out in the world of like health and nutrition, so it's like baby steps.
Well, oh no, but tell me why. I want to get because I feel you want to say something, but you're like don't want to tell me. What is
I'm
it?
not that. The biggest thing that I'm saying is baby steps. You don't all of a sudden start caring about health and go right into creatine. Like that's something that you have like bodybuilders. Bodybuilders take like creatine.
I got to get my body strong though, dude.
Yeah, but you're not a bodybuilder, Marv. I was
Well,
only
actually, I didn't even tell you this next part. Do you know that I actually not probably not? I don't know if it's probably going to be in October. It probably will be, but definitely in November. I want to start this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class down the street. So if I'm getting if I'm
Marv.
doing my,
Don't do that.
Why not? I knew you were going
to. I will give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say his name in case he doesn't want me to,
I know who you're talking about.
Shout out. One of my friends who you do know,
I know,
was taking that class, and he is someone that's very careful, like me, and he is someone that got injured, and he is not going to be able to work out the same way. He's been on, I think, a 7-month, 8-month recovery, and it's one of those things that it's basically going to change the way that his body is. So I would do like something like boxing or like tennis. Like tennis is really good. That's what I did.
Did he hurt his leg?
Yeah,
he did.
Just by a routine move. It wasn't even like an opponent like kicked him or anything. It was a routine move that he did on himself. And yeah, like he might not get to play again, is what I'm saying. So,
hold up. I thought it was another person. Is it that person?
No, I'll tell you off air who it is.
No. I'm not. I'm not. I don't want you to say his name. But like, I was thinking, I had a image in my head of who it was, and then you just said that one little tidbit. Now I'm thinking it's this other whole person, and I'm like, oh wow.
No, I'll tell you off air. All I'm just gonna say is that he's someone that is very careful, like myself.
I know you told me who it is. I know
and you, Marv, I love you like a brother. You are not careful. I know you will go all in, and I'm gonna get a call from you, and you're gonna look like a horror character where you'll be like all like cracked out of shit.
Well, I was looking at the Brazilian.
You look like a pretzel.
I was looking at the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because I was like, I think I need to, get a. I think we talked about this before, but just do something different. You know what I mean? But you're right though. I probably should just do boxing.
Just do boxing. Yeah, you can literally do that by yourself too, and you're less likely to get injured and everything. Which, let's face it, like as you're getting older, you don't want to get injured, because the more likely you are to get injured, and when you actually do get injured, it's going to be more costly, and then your body's going to take longer to recover. there are just other more safe ways where you'll still be able to get, the same amount of calories burnt, the same type of, effect on your
Did he
body.
learn anything from Brazilian Jiu Jitsu? Did he get anything out of it or no? It was a wash.
Yeah, hospital bills and, physical therapy.
No. Besides that part, like, did he actually like get the training, or it was just a wash? It was like all for nothing.
No,
Like,
no, no. He did do training and everything, and he did gain a lot. But between you and me, I don't know. He wants to get back into it again, but at the same time, he is on the fence because of just how a routine move like that has such a high likelihood of getting injured, and where he got injured also is like not something that is a recovery time of like a month. It's more of like months, if not a year.
well, hold up. Would you do boxing with me?
Would I do boxing with you?
Mm.
No, I'm already doing tennis.
Dude, do boxing.
Nah, I'm good. Tennis, I'm burning 400, 500 calories. My
I
calves
want
are looking
I
good.
want to
I
see those
I feel
Chad.
really good.
I want to see the Chad jabs.
Chad jabs. I mean, I do like light weightlifting. Like I've always said that I'm not here to gain like muscles. I'm just here to make sure my muscles are getting a little bit of workout. But I'm not here like that's why I don't take creatine. Like yeah, I did a decade ago, but I'm not here to like bulk up. Like when I was a teenager, I was trying to
Why,
do
how,
that
how come you don't want to bulk up, if I can ask?
pretty much because the likelihood of you being able to maintain that for the next 50 years is very slim. I'm just more about trying to actually be in shape.
I think
And
I think your wife would like it.
I mean, I work out for myself though, to be honest with you.
No, I'm saying I think that she'll like, oh my gosh. She'll be like, see murder. Oh god.
I
Like
highly doubt it. Plus,
like
with my genetic makeup, the likelihood of actually being like jacked, like I don't know, like Chris Hemsworth, is very very
no,
slim.
no. You won't be like
I mean, we've been through that. My
you
genetics
won't be
are
like Chris
terrible.
Evans. Like I could see you if you like really went to work. Like how I did one time. I actually really messed up my arms. I don't know if I ever told you that. I was doing 400 a day, and like I think just one day they just locked up on me. But before that happened, I saw this girl who I hate now, and when I saw her, she's like, "Oh my gosh, like you're fresh out of jail." I was like, "I know, it feels great." Like I walk with a different confidence. Like you feel it in you. You're like, "Oh my gosh, I feel good. I feel like Superman." Right?
No, I mean,
I,
dude, I feel good. I mean, like today, I'm looking at my watch right now. Uh, so far, I've burned 1,200 calories. I've done 84 minutes of exercise, and I've been standing for 16 hours. And the amount of steps that I've done is, I compete with other people that are like friends. I am number one with the people I'm competing against. I'm at 16,140 steps. So, and then the days that I do tennis, I feel like it's even more just because of just how intense it is, and it's fun too.
hmm. Oh, let's check the comments.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments. Can't articulate. There's 4 shows that are releasing an episode tomorrow. LOL. Which shows? I know Penguin's one of them, but which shows? Let's be nice, everyone. I agree. Bootzilla definitely didn't want to get into it like that, but once he brought family into it, I had to. Don't play with family. Sorry, guys.
Hold
Just
up.
remember,
Hold up. Who got his family got into it? How? What happened?
there's just like your mama comment.
Who?
You know how it is. You remember how it was back in the day.
I never played like that. I don't like that. Please, guys, don't do stuff like that. That's retarded.
Andrew Lay, I really enjoy Peter Berg's films. Rewatched Deepwater Horizon all the time. I finally saw that a couple months ago. Godzilla, Lone Survivor, and Very Bad Things are good Berg films. Hancock was okay too. Still need to watch Very Bad Things. Hancock, I wasn't too big of a fan of, to be honest.
I think that movie, people forget about that movie.
Yeah, I wonder why. I'm kidding.
But that's another one though, Chad. People like sold out theaters everywhere when that movie came out. Seriously,
Really?
really,
Yeah.
it made $100 million first week.
Yeah, that's a slap in the face. I can't articulate all these shows getting an extra season, but Hannibal can't get season 4. Honestly, I'm glad Hannibal hasn't gotten season 4. I think that season 3, that ending is perfection. I can't wait to rewatch it in a couple days. Andrew Lay, just let Marv let loose, Chad, then give him the substance when he reaches 50. I love that reference. Marv,
Yeah,
this is why you got to watch the movie The Substance.
I saw some about it online. I might give it a chance.
Oh, you should. It's a great film. Plus, it's a Marv movie. There is so much how do I put this delicately? There's so much sensual imagery that I think you
Is it the
will
type of
appreciate.
is it the type that I would like?
Yes.
A lot of female
Yes. Yes.
TNA.
It's all I'm gonna say is it's a Marv movie.
Is it like Euphoria or Assassination Nation?
It's more like, have you seen The Fly?
No.
I haven't seen The Fly. Videodrome, I'm assuming you haven't seen.
No.
Well, it's like a Cronenberg film mixed with like Carrie. Trying to think of some of the other influences. It has some Frankenstein.
Think of some that I've seen and then try to sell it to me.
Let me see some of the other movies that because it's a mix of a bunch of different films. Let me see something real quick.
Hmm.
Malignant. Did you? I forget. Did you like Malignant or no?
That movie is horrible.
Okay. Showgirls.
Never saw it.
All About Eve.
Never saw it.
Gremlins.
Uh, I did see Gremlins. That's not selling me on this movie though.
Well, half of these movies you haven't seen. The Shining. It's a bunch of different movies in one, but it is able to manage to be quite original, while also at the same time paying homage to all these different movies. But it's a cautionary tale. Double Toasted, they actually talked about it recently, and they loved it as well. It's a great film. It's one of those films too you want to watch with a crowd because like seeing the crowd reaction is just awesome.
Hmm.
I loved my theater, man. I can't articulate. I used to do BJJ. It's good, but some gym mates have ego problems and do reckless stuff. Yeah, I've heard that too, honestly. Bootzilla do cardio, core, and some weights lightly. And of course, eat your veggies full. Yeah, I agree with that. All those things are valid. I mean, the biggest thing though is, in my opinion, diet. I think that's something that a lot of people kind of, you know, don't really focus on. They focus more so on the actual weightlifting and everything, but diet is just so important. I think it's like 80%, and then 20% is like weightlifting and whatnot. But yeah, cardio is good. I've each year I've been increasing my cardio more and more. Can't articulate Daryl Dixon, the Penguin from and Uzumaki. Oh, nice. So I think of those four, the only one I'm watching is the Penguin.
Yeah, I still have to watch. I'll watch that tomorrow after I get off. Once all the football games are done and I'm done watching all my football reaction videos, I'll watch the Penguin. I watch both episodes.
Hmm. Andrew Light almost forgot breaking news, y'all. I changed my Letterboxd top four. Not Last Samurai at number one. That it will forever stay on that pedestal for me to worship to the day I die. I'm very curious to hear what your other three are now. But yeah, Last Samurai is great. Mark, you like Last Samurai, right?
No,
You don't like Last Samurai?
no.
Why not?
Tomorrow with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, how do you not like Last Samurai?
Tom Cruise, The Last Samurai.
Yeah, why don't you like Last Samurai?
I'm gonna repeat the question. Tom Cruise is The Last Samurai.
He's in The Last Samurai.
You're not getting the question. It's going over your head. Okay, never mind.
The movie's not implying that he's the Last Samurai, Marv. You know that, right? You've seen the movie, right?
I've seen some of it. I turned it off.
This is exactly my point. You like the movie never once implies that he's the Last Samurai. Anyone that's seen the film knows that. You should actually give it an actual chance.
I can't. I can't take it seriously. Not to mention,
Why not?
it does. So listen, it's not just that one. It's The Last Samurai and Vanilla Sky were two movies that from Tom Cruise back then that I literally, was and it was Mission
We're
Impossible
comparing
2.
Vanilla Sky to The Last Samurai.
I am because that one, along with the
No
three,
way. Last Samurai is a great film.
the
Vanilla
last,
Sky is
the
vanilla.
last, the last Samurai, Vanilla Sky, and Mission Impossible 2 had me looking at Tom Cruise Like I don't want to watch anything this guy's in.
You have explaining to do too, because
And then I
one of
saw
Major League's.
Collateral.
What don't you like about The Last Samurai?
It's boring.
Elaborate. Why do you find it boring?
It's boring, and I just it's not something he should be in. It's a starring vehicle for him. I don't like it. It's not good. It's same thing with Another Sky. I actually rented. I think we had them both. This is back when Blockbuster was around, mind you. Well, I'm talking about 20 years ago. Okay, I haven't seen it in 20 years.
It's
So
you need to, buddy. You need to actually watch that movie because
no, I
for
watched them
one,
both back to back.
it's not a starring vehicle. You're looking at it. Film's subjective, yes, but you're looking at it completely the wrong way. It's not a starring vehicle. It's one of Tom Cruise's performances along the lines of like Magnolia, where he is, yes, the lead character, but he is against cast. He is someone that, he is someone that is a drunk. Throughout most of the film, he is someone that's a drunkard. Like he's not like, running across battlefields and like beating a bunch of people. Like it's not like that, like at all. So I would highly urge you to rewatch it because it's got, first of all, one of Hans Zimmer's best scores. It's epic in its scale, and it's just got a very satisfying ending. Like it's a great film.
Mm.
And again, the film never once is trying to imply that he is the last samurai. He's not. Like, spoiler alert, Ken Watanabe would be looked at as the last samurai, not Tom Cruise. That'd be like watching Shogun and thinking that the one not American, the one, I think he's British. It'd be like saying that he is the Shogun. It's like he's not the Shogun, like at all. Like, oh, anyways, that's my rant for The Last Samurai. You gotta watch it, bro. Joseph Guerrero, Daryl Dixon was okay. Penguin was solid. From can't wait for new season. Never seen Uzumaki. I need to watch these. Andrew Lay, I swapped The Martian for 2001, Zodiac for The Irishman, and Phantom Thread for Julie and Julia. Respect. I like all these movies. I think Julie and Julia is the only one. I think it's solid, but
was that 3 or 4 movies? Because I'll give you my 3 right now.
Well, everyone knows you're 4. It's in the. I have the link for your Letterboxd, so you'll probably get some more follows. Also we have Bootzilla. Industry is on Sunday. Also, I just started getting into it. Have either of you seen that show? I haven't, but I know that's the one with Kit Harington. Marv, have you seen Industry?
Only thing I've watched show wise, I watched I Know What You Did Last Summer. I also watched New Girl. What else did I watch show wise? I'm missing something. I just can't remember what it was. Was it Euphoria? No. I was just watching something that I love a lot.
Oh, are you rewatching Euphoria?
Well, I always go back and just watch episodes of it. Like movies and shows that I like or love, I watch all the time. All the time. Like nonstop.
See, even if I love a show, it's usually a couple years before I rewatch it.
No, if I love something, I watch it forever. Like Hereditary, I'll watch it forever till I die.
I just, teaching his own, but I can't imagine like rewatching a film.
Do you remember Solomon?
I do remember. I've actually seen him several times in the theater.
If you see him again, tell him Marv says hi. Tell him that I miss our conversation. Tell him he left an impact on me.
You gotta come to the theater to see him.
It's 2.5 hours away.
Make the trip. No. Also, SkyNetGen, aka Sergey, is in the chat. What's up, you hack frauds?
What's up, man? But I wanted to say,
good to hear from you.
No. So Solomon, he has watched movies back to back 30 times, 50 times in the theater. He went the movie. He watched Rise of Skywalker 34 times.
I barely was able to watch it once. Joseph Guerrero. Also, side note, Marv, go Birds.
Let's go.
Yeah, I placed my first sports bet, and yeah, the Eagles, man.
They won. They won for you.
Yeah, they won, but Jalen Hurts was supposed to, get in the end. He was supposed to either run or throw a touchdown, and he didn't. You just threw interceptions.
Here's something I didn't expect. The last game, and Joe, you can tell Chad about this. I don't know if you saw the whole game, Chad.
I did.
It was a defensive game, and those games they don't come around often, right? But think about it. The score was 3-0 heading into the fourth quarter. That's insane. But that's the type of throwbacks I like. I like those low scoring games because you don't know who's going to win.
Because you don't have money on the line. I had money on the line. So I was like, this is a bunch of
that.
baloney. Like, are we serious here? This is what we're doing here?
If you want to know when you should probably place your bets, I can give you a good idea.
Well, I know the Eagles are playing tomorrow, right?
Don't place the bet tomorrow.
No, I'm not watching. I'm not watching the game tomorrow.
You suck.
What? I'm not. I have a bunch of editing to do. I have a very, very busy day tomorrow. Plus, Nicolette's working, so like
you're not an Eagles fan.
I'm not. I'm a casual viewer. I'm just watching it.
You need to be watching. You need to be an Eagles fan. I don't know how you're not.
So Jalen Hurts can run the ball all the time.
Joe, can you please tell him that Jalen passed the ball way more than he throws it? I know you're trying to hook, line, and sinker me, but it makes me mad.
It works every time. It works every time, Marv.
You can't listen.
All I have to say is Jalen Hurts just runs the ball, and it just.
I mean,
I set the breadcrumb perfectly.
He's the best quarterback right now.
Tom Cruise is not the Last Samurai. This. He's can't articulate. Yeah, I think my Letterboxd top 4 won't change now. Mulholland Drive filled that last spot in. Yes, Mulholland Drive is in my top 4 too.
My top 4: How to Be Single, The Prestige, Mean Girls, 13.
That is a very interesting list.
Very interesting list, and I love it.
I will say there was a variety amongst that. I'm surprised Mean Girls is there and not American Pie.
You know Mean Girls is one of my favorite movies. You know that, don't you?
I mean, I know American Pie is also one of your favorite movies.
But do you know that Mean Girls is one of my top 5 favorite movies? You do know this.
I mean, I knew it was in your top 50. I didn't know it was top 5 now.
No, Mean Girls is one of my. It's literally one of my. I've watched the movie literally like probably 1,000 times.
Because your Letterboxd, like I'm pretty sure it's.
I actually just was on it recently, so you can see what I graded on there. I don't know what it was.
Well, no, I'm saying I'm pretty sure your top 4. I'm pretty sure that's not. I'm pretty sure your top 4 is different.
It changes all the time. I'm not gonna lie to you. It changes.
Go on Letterboxd more, you hack fraud.
I forget about it.
How do you forget about it?
I just do, man. Where you love Letterboxd, and I just love YouTube.
I mean, I love YouTube as well. Oh yeah, you don't even have a top 4 in your new one. You gave Ma a 5 out of 5, but Bodies a 3.
Yeah, Bodies is not that good. I mean, it's solid. Ma's
better.
Ma's a great movie. That was such a great theatrical experience.
I enjoyed it.
That is why I go to the movies, for movies like that. That movie sold out crowd. We ate it up. We laughed. We screamed. I loved it. I love the characters in that movie. I love the Octavia Spencer.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it. Like I just realized I'm going on Letterboxd right now. I realized I forgot to put down that I saw it in theaters with Nicolette. But yeah, I saw that.
Did she like it?
She liked it, but this was back when I didn't really avoid the trailer. Actually, no, I think I avoided the trailer, but she didn't. So she knew pretty much everything that was going to happen because she saw the trailer. She was like, oh, yeah, I could have just watched the 2-minute trailer. And I was like, good thing I avoided it. But Godzilla, Last Samurai, and Vanilla Sky were both just okay to me. Fair. Can't articulate. Did PA ever have Hollywood Video, or is that just like a California movie rental?
That's here. That was here too. I brought Sex and the City the movie from there when I was 15, and I did ever tell you the story how I walked in there on the day that it was released. It came out, if I'm not mistaken, it was the 23rd or the 30th of September in 2008, and I think it was the 23rd. And I remember I decided to cut school that day because I back in high school I used to cut a lot. So whenever my dad left, I would just come back in the house.
Dang, Marv.
And I think I had like just enough money to go buy it, right? To go buy Sex and the City. I remember this. This is what I mean, like when we talked about how movies used to be special. And I walked from my house up to Hollywood Video, which is about 15 minutes. I walked in and nobody was in there. And I was like, oh my God, Sex and the City, let's go. This is back when buying a DVD, not a Blu-ray, a DVD was like unwrapping a Christmas present, right? So I grabbed the Sex and the City DVD box. I took it to the register, and she said, "Who are you buying this for?" And I was like, my mom. You know, she loves Carrie. But more than she know, I'm about to go home and watch the crap out of that movie, right? I took it back to the house, put it in there. I warmed up like 2 things of popcorn and got to business. I watched that movie straight all day, not all day, every day, but every day, like at least twice a day for like 2 or 3 weeks. No cap. No cap. Me and my dad will watch it with me. My mom will watch it with me. My brother will watch it with me. My brother was, I think, 10 or 11. I love Sex and the City. I love it to this day. I love the movies. I love the show.
That's
Chad,
fair. I do have Sex and the City on my watch list, but it's kind of on the back burner right now because there's other HBO shows that I need to watch
Chad,
first.
I watched it twice a day, every day, for 3 weeks. Like,
by the way, Marv, there's a bunch of comments. Check the private chat. I sent you something. Just keep it on the low. Bootzilla, I saw the original Speak No Evil, and while I was not expecting that, I liked the original more than the remake. Yeah, that's fair. I feel the same way, but I will say that the remake, I definitely understand the entertainment value of it. Where is it? Joseph Guerrero, yes, we did have Hollywood Video. Angela, haven't seen Mulholland Drive, but I know there's a scene where she kind of has a seizure watching a movie. I'm always like that during the Stargate scene in 2001. Yeah, there is a scene like that. The Silencio scene. It's one of my favorite scenes, and I think that it's one of the best scenes to watch at like 3 a.m. It's truly an outstanding experience. Just Guerrero and Blockbuster. Skynet Chad, what are you doing this video to get demonetized? LOL. Now, this video is not going to. My previous video has a limited amount of income that I'm able to get because I showed the Robert Storms video. I think it's because there was like a lot of profanity, so that's why I also just certain comments I'll show, so I'll let you guys like read it out loud to yourselves. But there's certain ones where I'm just like, I'm not going to say this because I'm, last video was kind of a test to see like how I could push the limits of monetization, and yeah. Can't articulate go Patriots. We're not going to win another game, but it's Pats Nation till the day I die. This is exactly how Marv is with the Eagles. Even though the Eagles are going to probably go, 6-11, he will still be a huge fan of them. Marv, am I tricking you?
No, they're going to win the Super Bowl, and that's just facts.
All right, you know what? Let me go back. Just where yes, the Eagles completely turned it around defensively, and Saquon is a beast. Yeah, you Patriots better than Cowgirls at least. Yeah, it's funny because I was talking to Marv about this. I think the rivalry between Cowboys and Eagles is honestly hilarious. Like I remember I watched a documentary years ago about the rivalry, and I think it's utterly hilarious because it all started because back in the day the Cowboys were winning Super Bowls and the Eagles weren't happy about that. So the fans, were like, oh, up in arms. And now things are kind of turned around, of course, but it's just kind of funny how the rivalry all started just because.
Well, the rivalry is going to be there because of the fact that we're in the same division and we're all trying to get that done. But like, it's only because we're the only two teams that's good in the division, consistently anyway. Like the Giants have been trash since 2012. Okay, Washington has been trash my whole life, seriously, right? So they're irrelevant. Whenever they're good again, then the rivals will kind of heat up because you got to remember these cities, except for Dallas, New York and DC is right next to Philly. So if they were good, it would be like more heat. It will be more heat between us and New York. Like the Giants hate us how we hate the Cowboys, but we don't pay the Giants any mind because they suck. But Giants fans hate us. They hate us.
I mean, because no offense, like most, not going to say all, most Eagles fans are kind of annoying. Like
that's not true.
Stop. It's like getting a grader and putting it to your head. It's like, oh yeah, we're the best nation. Nobody likes us, but we don't care. It's like, my dude, like just chill, relax.
First of all, if you think we're bad, you haven't been around enough Cowboys fans.
Of course, I haven't been around Cowboys fans because they're not willing to travel from Texas.
First of all, Cowboys, that's where you're wrong at. This is how I know you don't know what you mean right now. Cowboys fans are everywhere. Do you know that they're the number one brand in sports, in all sports. They have the most fan base on the planet. They have fans all over the planet, everywhere. I don't know why.
You didn't let me finish with what I was saying. I'm not saying that they don't have fans. I'm saying
they travel much more than we do. I'm
saying they are not as grating as Philadelphia fans.
They're 10 times worse.
If you look up, I can literally look up right now. I can show it to them. Top 10 worst fan NFL teams. I'm literally just going to look this up. Let me see. I'm going to try to put the list up. Let's see. Let me share my screen.
I don't think you can.
No, I can share. I'm going to go to present. You ready for this? I'm going to share screen. All right. Here we go. So we have dismiss because I don't want to get a virus. We have, where is it? 32. Let's go all the way to the top 10. So this list is number 10, San Francisco 49ers. Number 9, Chicago Bears. Number 8, Denver Broncos. Number 7, New Orleans Saints. Number 6, Las Vegas Raiders. Number 5, Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 4, Philadelphia Eagles. Number 3, Dallas Cowboys. Okay, all right. Maybe I was wrong. Packers. Number 2. Okay, fair. Number 1, New England Patriots.
Oh, what did I say?
All right, so we're top 5. I mean, okay, I'll give you. Maybe I will say I was wrong about Cowboys fans, but it just seems like, I guess because I'm in Philadelphia, just constantly hearing
it's only because you're around us. But if you kind of like got the full sense of everything, you'll see it. You'll see what's going on out here. Like, Eagles fans just love their team, and I need you to really understand that.
Oh, I know. Trust me. You're not the only Eagles fan that I'm friends with. Like, I know. There's what's it called, Eagles Nation. Like, I get it. It's just, yeah.
Check. If you think we're annoying, try being around Cowboys fans. It literally is.
Oh, I mean, the only reason why I would go to Texas is if I want to visit.
They're not in Texas. They're everywhere, Chad. They're in Philly. They're in New York. They're everywhere. They're in your neck of the woods too. They're everywhere. They are everywhere. There's a quote. It's a real quote. This is a quote in a book. If a meteor hit Earth, there will be 2 things left: cockroaches. No, it'll be 3 things left: cockroaches, dust, and Cowboys fans. That's a real quote. They're everywhere.
So what you're saying is that means that when that occurs, that means the Cowboys will always be Super Bowl champs. It's good to know.
How they won't? They're not champions now. What are you talking about?
By default, though, if they're only surrounded by cockroaches and dust, by default they will probably.
I mean, they will have to form a league with the cockroaches, and they still won't beat them. How about
that? The Philadelphia Cockroaches.
No, the Dallas Cockroaches. Stop it. I mean, you have to understand that the Eagles are the number 1 team in sports. We're the best team in sports.
You think they're the number 1 team?
We're the best team in sports.
Marv, they might. I'm calling it now on this film live stream. They're gonna get to the wild card, and then they're probably gonna choke because, well, it's Philadelphia.
I was going to say the divisional round. I was going to say that the division.
They will, if they're lucky, they will go. What is it? 9-8. There you go. They'll go 9-8.
They're not. They're going to go 12-5.
You think they're going to go 12-5?
I actually think they'll go 13-4. But I was saying.
You think they're going to go 13-4?
Yeah.
All right.
First of all, I want to point out something. We are a drop pass away from being 3-0.
Dude, it wasn't a drop pass. It was the fact that it was 4th and 4 and they decided to go for it instead of kicking a field goal.
No, but Chad, if he catches the ball, they're 3-0. Period.
Hearsay. It started in that first quarter. I knew there was going to be. I knew that was going to come back to haunt them.
And it did. You're right. You're absolutely right. But if he catches the ball, we're 3-0. And I just don't like if that defense plays like that, how they just played in New Orleans. we'll win every game. Well, now we're not going to, obviously.
Yeah, but look at their offense.
They're the number 2 offense in the league. Did you know that?
It doesn't show.
Yeah, doesn't matter if it showed. We're the number 2 offense.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a house of cards just waiting to fall, and it's a lot easier to see this season than last season. Like I called it. I called it. Remember last year? I said I was like, look, they're getting these wins, but I guarantee you that it's eventually going to collapse. And you,
last year you said it was the defense. This year the defense is better.
No. And I will say, let me clarify, the defense is much better than it was last year. Like there's no denying that. But that offense,
it's the number 2 offense. This is the second most effective offense in the league.
Well, they're not really converting now, are they?
They don't have to convert. Just kick the field goals. Why won't the coach is retarded?
Part of converting is getting a field goal, Marv.
He's not kicking them. That's the point. He won't kick them. If he kicked them, we'll probably be number 1.
But they're not, which is why they're going to go 9-8.
You're gonna eat your words. You're gonna eat your words.
You guys see, this is what I love about messing with the Eagles.
We're going to win we're going to win the Super Bowl. You forget when I said we're going to.
Okay, you're saying they're going to win the Super Bowl?
I mean, think about it. You haven't watched the game, so you
want to place a bet?
But no, because I don't want to.
Yeah, because that they're not going to win the Super Bowl.
I don't want to place a bet only because I'm superstitious and I do not want to jinx my team. That's the only reason why I won't do it. But I'll place another bet. I'll place a bet that they'll win the playoff. They'll win a playoff game. I'll do that with you.
They'll win a playoff game. I mean, I would really have to see which teams it is that they're playing against, to be honest.
See, I'm confident. I'm confident they'll win.
I'm confident. Not. I mean, they. We'll see. For now, no bet. But I'm just saying, like,
because you know, Chad, you even know that this team gets his head out of his behind, it'll dominate. You know, even you know that.
If the offense matches the defense, then yes.
If Jalen locks in, stops throwing turnovers, and the offense just wakes up, this team will dominate. You even think about it. If he doesn't turn the ball over, that game in New Orleans isn't even close. Would you agree?
I mean, you can make that argument with any team, though.
No. I'm talking about this specific team with this firepower.
I'm not seeing it, dude. I'm not seeing it.
Not everybody.
Maybe I'm just blind, but like I'm not seeing it.
The number 2 offense in points and yards and efficiency.
I'm not seeing it.
Do you know that other teams aren't even? I think we're one of the only teams that scored 30 this year. Did you know that?
So it's just going to be a dull year then.
You're a hater. It's because the Eagles are good. I'm mad.
Skynet Gen Ma is mid, as the kids call it these days. It's funny. Nicola and I were just talking about that term. I don't like the term. I usually just say middle of the road. I'm like
you're such an old person. Mid is a great term. Is a great.
Dude, it's gonna age like sour milk. I can't wait for the next generation to watch a video and someone's like, this movie was mid, and it's like, what are they talking about? Like, is that a band? Like, what is that? Like,
mid's gonna last a long time, buddy. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
it is. You reminded me of another friend of mine, and you guys are very different. But the one thing you do have in common is that like you're kind of like on the outside looking in, kind of like you don't get what everybody else is on. You're like, what is this? Why is this a thing? Like, I don't get this. Why is this?
Well, it's because look at it this way, Marv. Like, especially now that I'm getting older, you go to school for 18 years, you get an education, and instead of utilizing that education to say something like middle of the road or mediocre, or I'm trying to think of some other words off the top of my head, any other word, instead it's like mid. It's like you're making it such a small thing to the fact where it's like, okay, like
you just saying that just made me want to always say mid. I'm going to always say it now because of what you just said out of your mouth.
Well, it's just like, what do the kids say these days now? It's like woke. It's like woke is such a lazy thing to just say that a film, happened to have a diverse cast. Like it's like
for example, do you think so you hate mid? Do you hate pause too?
Pause, I just think it's a silly term, but I use it for you.
But
But I wouldn't say in a video. Like I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't be in a video and say like, oh, Chris Hemsworth. Oh man. Pause. I wouldn't say that.
That's not how it said. That's not how it says. Pause. Pause is actually a great term because what you realize is that like a lot of times people can at any moment can say something very questionable, and you're like, oh dang, my bad. Pause. That's why everybody says it now. Like now, everybody says no Diddy. Everybody says, yeah, like
I
the
did
one
not
guy.
know that was a thing now.
And it started in Philly, by the way. That's a Philly term, by the way. And the guy was like, yeah, the young bulls love me. I put him in position. No Diddy. And it's awesome. It's
That
hilarious.
whole sentence right there, like I've heard the term young bull, but like that's another term where I'm just like Toro, LA. Like I'm just like that's immediately what I think about.
It's funny. It's funny that you're bringing all this up right now. Maybe it's like a good omen. I thought about all of this stuff this morning with you,
Really?
right? And I was like how Philly guys, how we talk and stuff like that. Like it's not bull as in
Oh,
bull.
another one, another Philly term where I'm just like beating my head against the wall. John, yo, y'all get this
I
John.
thought
Like,
about all of this and what
like
this is. I have. Is this a vision? I thought about talking about this with you today. And listen, right? First of all, bull is not bull as in the animal. It's like boy, but you're replacing it with an L, not a Y. It's that's it just means like I'll be like, what's up, bull? Like I'm saying, what's up, boy? Just with an L. It's just how we talk. It's just how we talk.
you see what I'm saying? Like you know me, and especially the way I text, and it's like, would you ever imagine me like texting you that, like, yo, young boy, like you know how you
I
doing?
would love it. I would laugh and be like, yes, because do you know that I actually kind of like get mad at your formalities? Do you know that?
You do?
I actually like. I'm like if you ever tell me, all right, Marv, have a good night, I'll literally want to throw up. I'll be like, what? How dare you? I'm like, what? No, I don't.
Look, I have a very professional job, so it's one of those. I mean, even when I was a debt collector, it was one of those things that
You're not the
I
only
always had
person
to
to
be
bring this to me.
on because there were just so many like laws and guidelines that I had to follow. So it was just one of those things that just I don't know, just kind of stayed with
Like
me.
I had a friend that I used to make movies with named John Sullivan, and he said the same things. Like, Marv, how come every time you get off the phone or you text people, you always say, all right, or like, all right, I get back at you or something like that. But when I hang up with the phone with you, I say, all right, have a good night. And I'm saying like, yeah, like we're like I said, dude, number one, we're friends. Why would I talk to you like that? That's how you talk to somebody who you like don't like, or somebody who's like a bill collector calling your phone.
Although to be fair, even before I was a debt collector, like I was very formal. I've always been rather formal.
I can't stand it. I want it to stop immediately. I hate it. I want it to stop.
Hey, sometimes on these live streams, I'm not. Sometimes I'll let loose more than usual. You know that. That's one of the reasons why I do them because I have my videos a very certain way where I try to sound as professional as I can, but then in these videos I'm well poking fun at you and vice versa.
Hold up, and you don't like John either. Well, number one, John. Well, John.
Oh, just registering you, yeah, John, yeah,
No. First of all, so let me. So John is actually a hood word. Like that's an actual hood term. It's been around since
right,
I was a child, but because it's stuck around over the years, it's kind of like gotten into different neighborhoods and it got into the suburbs.
yep.
So then it was culturally appropriated, and now the whole city says it. Like grandmas and like everybody says it. Like white people, Asian people.
Oh, I see signs sometimes that say I put that
Yeah,
John on everything or
yeah.
like something like that.
But yeah, yes, right. But that's something that started from the hood, from like the urban areas. So that is a term that was literally culturally appropriated. But it's okay because John is awesome, and to hear people say it now, like when I hear like middle-aged women say it, white women say it, I'm like, this is awesome.
Yo, that John was lit. I don't know, it's just like
But
it's something like that.
I just walked past a group of college kids saying it, and I was like, and I'm in Westchester. Like it's I saw a 40-year-old beautiful white girl say it, and she was like, I'm a Philly John. I was like, I love it. I love it. So that
Works
is
with that John.
that right there, that word in particular is a sign of cultural appropriation. Some might frown upon it, but I don't care. because I think it's awesome.
I see both viewpoints of that because there's a lot of that though. Let's face it, but that's a topic for another time. We have lots of comments.
Go ahead.
Andrew did not like the procedure at all. Nolan's filmography is marred by that in my mind. I hate the twist. Sure, very effective narrative-wise, but too tonally out of place. I had to turn it off. What?
Yeah,
I'm with Marv on this. I love the prestige.
You wildin', Drew. You wildin', boy. I don't know what's wrong with you. Nope.
Drew, can't articulate at Andrew Lay. All right, man. This is just blasphemous.
Absolutely. Yeah. Blasphemous. I don't know what you're talking about.
Andrew Lay, yes. Duplicate me and drown one of myself out of anger, y'all.
Yes, absolutely.
Joseph Guerrero, Marv spitting facts right now with football. Love this. Can't articulate says you need an ad blocker, Chad. I think I have one, but I think I had one, but I just don't have it anymore. But you're right. I probably should. Just Guerrero, Chad, stop hating on the birds before I drop your betrayal with Nicolette. Whole family is Philly proud. Oh, I know. Trust me. One of the reasons why I'm watching football again is because of Nicolette.
Thank God.
And watching it with her family. That's what I was doing last
How do they watch the games? Or is it awesome?
Oh, they're very passionate. They're like yelling at the screen. I mean, you know how it is, Marv. You know how Philly fans are.
I would love to see Nicolette's
throw the ball, run the ball. Meanwhile, I'm just watching back. I'm just like, please just get 3 touchdowns. Like, that's all I'm saying.
Well, no, I actually really love watching the Eagles games with you and Nicolette. It's always fun. You guys get into it.
I was going to say, off to the side, we need to figure out like whether it's October or November to watch one of the games together.
I was looking at the games that might interest you the most, and I saw one on the 27th. Would you and Nicolette go to Xfinity Live for one game or no?
I mean, she would probably want to, but
you can say.
I think I went to one Eagles game like in the past, and just
it's not inside the stadium. You're outside. You're in a giant bar complex.
I think she might have went to one of those for the Phillies game. I believe. I could need fact checking with that. I'll have to ask her later. By later, I mean tomorrow. Bootzilla, Patriots were definitely annoying during Brady Belichick era, but they had good reasons.
Everybody.
Because Brady Belichick were awesome.
They were not.
Bar none. Goes without saying, Mark. Can't articulate. Yeah, Cowboys fans are everywhere, sadly. Just where are you crazy? We will be past wild card. We shall see. We shall see. Maybe I will eat my words. Maybe I am a fortune teller. Only time will tell. Just Guerrero, OMG chat is wild and can't articulate Eagles. Pat's Nation. Pat's got the best fan base. EAGL, Eagles.
Let's go. It's going down tomorrow, man. Chad, you got to watch the game tomorrow, man. Listen, man. All I'm going to say is you need to watch tomorrow, man. You got to watch.
Nah, I have a bunch of editing to do with my videos. Maybe I'll have it on in the background. It's like a background noise.
That's fair. That's fine. I'll take the compromise if you just go ahead and do that.
Probably not going to do that, Marv. To be honest,
I should like piss in your cereal.
You know I don't eat cereal.
Oh damn it! I'll piss in your oats.
My oats though. Can't articulate all this won't matter because Chiefs probably going to win. Hey, with Taylor Swift. Chad, you're fired. Big man. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm an Eagles fan. I'm a casual viewer.
You're a Patriots fan and a Packers fan. I
was both back in the day when I actually
you can't be ex Joe, ex CA. You know what I'm saying? Ex anybody.
No. I was back when I actually
be both. You can't
back when I actually focused on football. Yeah, I was into both teams, but specifically the same way I am with films, where it's like I like a certain director. I was the same way with the Packers and the Patriots, where it's like I liked those two quarterbacks, so I followed their journey as they were playing on both teams, and then even after when they were on other teams, but just kind of fell out of it. Now I just watch it as an objective viewing experience where I'm just there to be entertained. But at the same time, if I can bust a few balls in regards to Eagles fans, I do it because it's fun.
No, that's just sad. That just sounds so sad, man. It really does. I feel bad. I feel bad. I wish you would have kept on keeping on because it's awesome over here on this side.
I mean, I liked the statistics aspect. Like that was probably my favorite part about when I was really into football and baseball, but just kind of
I
fell out.
I can't tell you how much you've missed since you left. Like you've missed some of the greatest nights in history. Not even from the Eagles' point of view. Like just in like just certain games that was played. Like I don't know if anybody here saw them, but Joe, I'll ask you, right? Did you ever see the I think it was a 2014 or 2015 Packers versus Seahawks game, but versus the Legion of Boom with Aaron Rodgers versus Russell Wilson?
I think I
Chad,
might have.
Chad, it is one of the to this day I watch it every now and again. It is one of the greatest games you'll ever watch. Literally, it's one of the greatest football games ever. And my heart breaks that you might have missed something like that. Because listen, right, here's the thing, right? You forget I'm a movie buff too. Chad, when you watch a good or a great football game, even, it's like watching a great movie. It really is. Like
Oh, I know that.
it truly is. Think about it. Last year with that Eagles game we watched, that was like some out of somebody. Like it's like somebody wrote that. Like how?
It
Like
was really good.
I couldn't believe they won that game.
Um, Joseph Guerrero also says, do Chiefs 3 games in a row, all wins, barely won.
They should be 0 and
Uh,
3. They
they are a
suck.
toe away from losing.
They are a toe away from losing. They suck.
Can't trickle. Yeah, that's because of Pat Mahomes. He's been titled best fourth quarter player for a reason. Fair.
He is he really though, or is that teams
Andrew Lay has
spoke
something to
against
say,
him?
and I agree with this. Am I the only one not in US here? Because just telling you guys, everyone in the world hates how you guys call them football and soccer. I can respect that. I think that it is kind of frustrating because yeah, everyone knows that like soccer is looked at as like football, but then it's like we have American football, and also knowing that they're trying to spread football like American football across the world, it is like kind of it's understandable. I get what you're saying, Andrew. I didn't really understand it truthfully growing up. Like I was just like, wait a
Well,
minute.
I
So
mean, they kick the football with their foot.
football's more of like throwing though. It's throwing and running.
What you gonna call?
Soccer,
You gonna call?
soccer
Are you gonna
is
call it throw
football.
ball? Hmm?
I mean, I understand from a business perspective why the NFL decided to call it that, but I'm saying like I get Andrew's viewpoint as someone outside of the United States. I 100% get it. Like
Football.
football.
Which
What do
reminds
you what's the sport that you use your foot the most? Soccer. Football.
you use it to kick the ball to the other team. Football. I will hear nothing. I will hear nothing more. Nothing.
Like we're both Americans, but you are a bona fide American. I get where Andrew's saying. I
I'm a
100% get it.
Canadian first of all.
Hmm?
I'm a Canadian first of all.
If you think that's not true, if you were a Canadian, you would understand what he's saying.
I'm a Canadian, Chad. Canadian. They have a Canadian football league.
Marv, I'm a Canadian. Like I'm saying, that's why I can be objective with this. Like I'm
Chad.
with him.
Chad. I'm literally a Canadian. They have a
You're not a
Canadian. It's
Canadian.
called the CFL. It's Canadian Football League. What are you talking about?
No, you're not.
Canadians love football, and I am Canadian.
Uh huh.
I am.
Right.
I really am, dude.
Right. I'm actually Canadian. My grandfather was 100% French Canadian.
I'm Canadian. I'm not French though.
Mm,
I'm Indian Canadian.
right.
I'm from British Columbia.
Right.
It's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Canada, man. I'm 1/4 and a half Cherokee.
Can't particularly. I agree. Soccer should be called football. Facts. Skynet Gen, aka Sergey. Chad is going to be like Josh Harnett and Trap using Gen Z slang in all the wrong ways possible. LOL.
You really do.
This is factual information being spewed. I honestly, when Josh Harnett was saying all those terms, I was just like, this is relatable. Like I'm with M. Night Shyamalan because this is 100% going to be me as like a dad, where I'm going to hear my kids saying certain words, and at first I'm going to question them, and they're not going to be able to explain why they're using certain stupid words. But then I'm going to be like, all right, well, I got to try to fit these words into my vernacular, I suppose, and try to do that, and it's probably going to be terrible.
So when somebody says I got the bag, you know what that means?
I got the
Bag.
I got the bag.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay the bill.
No, it means you got money. You like if like when Nolan makes $70 million from Oppenheimer, Nolan got the bag. It means you got paid.
Why don't
That's
you just say that he's a blockbuster director?
no, nobody talks like that, Chad. Only you talk like that.
He got the bag.
Yes, that's the listen. Even old dudes say that. My mom says that.
Marv, I don't think I'm ever going to say I got the bag other than like as a joke.
Nicolette probably says that at work.
I've never heard her say I got the bag because if she did, I would say, what are you talking about?
That's why I said she probably says it at work.
I don't think so. She's a nurse. What's she gonna say to the patient?
Are you kidding me?
I got the bag?
Cops say this. What are you talking about?
When does a cop said I got the bag? Like when you pull someone over, listen, I got the bag on you.
Chad, slang is a normal part of society. Once you realize that, this won't be second knowledge to you.
I'm not saying slang isn't. Look, I'm not saying slang isn't a part of society. I get that, but I'm saying that a police officer is not going to pull someone over and be like, "Look,
what do you think?
Pulled you over, and I want to let you know I got the bag."
You had this kind of police officers are not upstanding citizens. Not saying all of them are bad. I'm not saying that.
But they have to try to be professional.
No, they're not. They'll pull you over like it was like a police officer said, "What's up, boy? What you doing?" That's they talk like that too. They do. Just so you know.
Maybe I'm just looking at it as someone that like lives in the suburbs, but I've never heard someone.
Chad, I live in the suburbs.
Look, I'll give you perspective. When I got in my accident, what was it? Almost 2 years ago. When the police officer came by, like he wasn't like, "Yo, I hope you got the bag," like for a new car. Like he just said like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." He sounded, I don't know, professional. But again, I'm living in the suburbs, so maybe that's why. Like maybe it's different in the city.
No. It's not because I'm in the suburbs right now. When I got my job, my boss, when he wasn't my boss at the time, he came up to me like, "Bro, if you applying, I'll hire you right now in this joint. Facts. You want this job?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Come with me. Come with me to the office. I got you."
That's what your boss. That's what your boss said.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. My boss also sells weed to everybody in the store.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then.
Both of my bosses actually.
I'll give you this, John. I'm sure that's what you say. Just a girl, MG Chad. You don't want to hear kids slang today. Ohio, Scooby Doo toilet or Riz.
Yeah. Oh, Riz. Yeah, my nephew took me on that one. Riz.
Some really stupid stuff. LOL.
Riz,
yeah.
Riz means you have game. Like if we're in the parking lot, yo, she look good. I gotta go spit my Riz to her.
It's so stupid.
Why is it stupid? Or are you just like behind the 8 ball?
I'm not behind the 8 ball. It's gonna age like sour milk. Like 10 years from now, and people are like, "Yo, I got the Riz." Like,
well, to keep it, I told you before, Joan has been around since the 90s.
Yeah, and guess what? It's just like in the 90s when you hear someone say it. It's like I only like it in terms of like authenticity. Like if you're trying to capture a dynamic of like how people talk, then yeah, sure. But if I'm watching a review and someone's like, "Yo, it's Skiz, it's Scooby-Doo, it's the John," like I'm gonna be like, "I'm sorry." Like, let's break down the movie. Like let's talk about.
But people don't break down the movies like you do, Chad, and you know that. You're not. Why are you being surprised?
What we should do, Marv? You should make reviews, but use slang in it. I'm very curious to see. Like, I want to see it.
You know what? It was actually crazy. When I tried to write a review on Letterboxd, I couldn't do it because I couldn't find the words. Like I was like, I don't want to do this. But if I did it that way, I probably could do it. Believe it or not.
I would write a review. I'm very curious. I want to see what a review would look like with Riz and John and.
Well, you got to use them the right. Stuff. You have to use them the right ways. It only works because like the way you're looking at it is you'll be trying to like make sense of it all, but. You got to remember, like when I'm using them, it's almost like I'm just speaking regular. Like I'm not using them to be funny. I'm using them like seriously. Like for example, I'm trying to. How do I explain it? It'll be like I was talking to somebody, and I had said the word. Oh, dang, that's crazy. That's nasty work, right? And he didn't get. He's like, I've heard that before. But why does everybody keep saying? I was like, I mean, it's nasty work. With how she did him dirty, she did him foul. And he was like, what did he say? He was just like, he went into this long soliloquy Not like, I mean, you're just laughing, but he went until he actually really got into it. He's like, he really didn't understand. And I was like, bro, point blank period. And mind you, a key part of this chat is I'm a very simple person. You know that. And I was just like, bro, she did him foul. She diabolical. She's crazy. That's nasty work. She did him nasty. You know what I'm saying? She got her black back blown out and she's pregnant. That's crazy. That is crazy, isn't it?
Not how I would word it, but yeah.
You get did you get it? You got it. You said now how I word it, but yeah. So even you
kind of. I can't articulate the substance was woke. Raise your hand if the United States or America needs to stop making woke movies. Mid too.
Hold up. I've long said to Chad that they have to stop making woke movies. I'm tired of it.
Marv, you know that he's
joking,
joke, right?
I know he's joking, but I'm just saying I have to put my foot in there and just say I've long said that.
Marv, that's not a criticism though. Like
I didn't say that he was making it, but that triggered my brain to say that. Like,
well, me too, because woke is not a critique.
You know what I mean? I don't critique movies.
It's the word of the year.
Actually,
it's a word that originally had a positive meaning that then got politicized in 2016 and now has a negative connotation. And then now all of a sudden, what's the new one? DEI or something like that. So now movies are going to be called DEI. It's so stupid. It's like just like this is again my point though, where these are words that are words of the year. It's like there are other words though that have actually lasted not just a couple decades, but hundreds of years. And those are the ones that, for me, I try to utilize. Just that word, utilize. I love that word. And it's a word that you might not hear nowadays, but guess what? It's a word that's lasted decades, if not hundreds of years.
Too formal. Boo.
Woke? Yeah, okay.
I'll just say preachy. How about that?
Preachy?
Preachy.
See, I can respect that because preachy, it has more substance to it.
You also don't like the word pretentious either.
Because pretentious, I've come to realize over the last couple of years that it's something that there's a certain connotation to it where it's like, oh, this, I guess sometimes people say like, oh, the movie's pretentious, but really a film's only as important as you as an audience member deem it to be. Like a good example would be, I'm trying to think of a good example.
Hold up, let me stop you right there. I want everybody in the comment section. Holler at me in the comments right now. We need to have a press conference in the comment section right in this instance. Listen, he did not just say this. Listen, right? Number one, two things. Number one, you're making excuses. Second thing, words are words. They have meanings. And you just went on a whole soliloquy about how you want words to be utilized, like you would say. And now you don't want to utilize pretentious because it's meaning a movie or a filmmaker has a stick up its behind.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said at all, though.
That's what you are saying, Chadwick.
No, I didn't say that at all. If you go
Megalopolis is pretentious. It's garbage. It sucks.
But see, this is what I'm saying though. Pretentious is implying that the movie itself thinks that it's so important. But the reality is you as an audience member are the one to decide if a film's important or not. So if you don't think the film's important, that's fine. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the filmmaker is saying that my movie is the most important thing out there. Like Francis Ford Coppola never said that.
Am I listening to this cap right now?
Francis Ford Coppola, all he said is that, hey, this movie, it means a lot to me. That's to him. He's not saying that you as an audience member need to think that it's super important.
Let's cut that cap right there. Press conference in the comment section, y'all. But he did not just say that. This man spent his family's fortune on this pile of dog.
Yeah, but you haven't even seen the movie.
I don't need to.
You do. In order to have a bone in the ring, you gotta have seen the movie.
No. Guess what? Deadline Hollywood told me. You know when I read this box office report, you know what I saw, Chad? And I don't know if it was in your screening, but if it was, you can comment on it. Holler at me real quick. It said, and I'm quoting, that it has an interactive section where Adam Driver stops in the middle of the screen and talks to the audience. You get to ask a question.
No, it's only certain screenings.
What?
Yeah, it's intriguing.
No, it's not. What are you talking about?
Marv, you haven't seen the movie. Marv, you haven't seen the movie. You can't. I've seen Megalopolis, so I can give my 2 cents. But if you haven't actually paid 2 cents to see a movie. You can't really
I'm not paying 2 cents. I'm not paying soap. I'm not paying in milk. Nothing.
But
I'm not.
that's
I'm not.
but that's
We're
my
not
point. You
trading
haven't. But that's
DVDs.
my point. You
You
haven't
better
seen the
not Blu-ray
movie.
this. You better
Marv,
not.
that's my point. You haven't seen the movie. You're saying the movie's
You
pretentious.
better not.
You
You
haven't seen it.
better not Blu-ray this.
Marv, are you listening to me?
No, I will not. I will not listen to you.
I'm
I will
saying you
not.
can't call a movie pretentious if you haven't seen it.
Fine. I'm going to use something else. Hold on. What's the movie?
If you
The
use another
Lighthouse. The Lighthouse. Mm-hmm. The
Lighthouse
Lighthouse.
isn't pretentious.
Yes, it is. It's garbage. It sucks. It's stupid. I hate it. It gave me
Robert Eggers isn't saying like he's not saying that this is.
He's a
movie.
pretentious director, and I hate him.
Not.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Not at all.
He is so 1,000%. 1,000%.
No.
He sucks. I do love The Northman though. Besides that first 15 minutes, it's garbage. But
hard disagree.
You will disagree because you like The Witch so much and you like The Lighthouse so much. But that
it's not even just that. I just when I'm watching his films, I think that he works inside like each of his films. He works inside of a specific genre, and I think that he's not saying that this is the most important film of this genre. He's just working in that genre. He's doing his job, and he is doing it with style. And it's like, okay, cool. But I like, is there an interview on him saying like, oh my goodness, The Witch? It's going to change lives, guys.
Have you ever read? Did you ever read what I sent you? The interview that they had Ari Aster and Robert Eggers. It was one of the most retarded discussions ever.
I didn't get that vibe. Honestly,
I got the vibe that that was two dudes I never want to have a conversation with. Never, literally.
But I saw that interview and I didn't think that there was anything like there wasn't anything malicious in it. Like. It's like I don't know. I just saw two dudes that just liked films. Like I don't know.
No, I saw. Well, I'm not. I can't comment too much on Aster. Aster was more like a bystander in the conversation, at least from what I could tell. In the conversation, you got Eggers talking about how like he derides pop culture, how he grew up loving like a lot of things that me and you grew up loving, like Star Wars and Indiana Jones and the Nolan Batman movies and stuff like that. And then he like flushed that. He got rid of that stuff. And then he got into the more like artsy art house stuff. And now he's making stuff like The Lighthouse, which is garbage.
But what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with the artsy stuff.
No, I'm saying what's wrong with growing is
what is it to grow from, Chad? What is it?
I'm saying
what's wrong
with Indiana Jones? I'm saying that film it's across decades. It's across different types of film. So it's like if all you're experiencing is like one type of film, it's like you just get a taste for that. But if you broaden your horizons, broaden your taste buds, you get to experience a lot of different stuff. And that's what Eggers is saying. He's not saying that blockbuster stuff is bad. He's saying that you can sprout your wings and actually experience different types of stuff.
That is cap. I'm gonna tell you that right now. First of all, we're still having a press conference in the comments section. I need y'all to be commenting in this comment section, okay? I need y'all to get active. I need my movie warriors active right now, okay? You know what I'm saying? Marv is on a sermon right now. Pastor Marv is getting to it, okay? I have to get with Deacon Chad right now. First of all, this is all cap. Number one, Chad. Yes, it is, because I don't like one type of movie. I love all different types of movies. I love movies. I've as a child, I watched movies that you never thought I would watch. You never thought I would watch some of these movies I'll be telling you about, right? And I love them. The Prestige. I saw that when I was, how old was I?
Have you seen The Seventh Seal?
No, I never heard of that. But
Have you seen The Maltese Falcon?
Never heard of that. But that doesn't mean
this is exactly my point. Have you seen Modern Times?
I never heard of it.
But Marv, this is no, as you would say, no cap. This is what I'm trying to get across. Like these are classics. By the way, these are films that have been around for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. These are films that are deemed classics that it's fine if you haven't seen, but I'm saying that if you broaden your horizons, you'll come across these films and it's like, oh wow, that was a really good.
But I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I just haven't heard of them before. I've just, like, for example, when I heard about Cleopatra, right? I still hadn't get a chance to watch it yet, but it's on my list to watch. You see what I'm saying? Like when I watched what movie did I watch? Like if you look on my Letterboxd, you'll see that I logged The Ice Storm. That is a 5-star picture.
That's a good movie.
It's a great movie. It is literally a masterpiece. Okay, Little Children. Little Children. I saw when I was 14. Okay, you wouldn't think a 14-year-old would get that movie or love that movie. That movie is a masterpiece. It's a classic. I will tell anybody that I know that Little Children is one of the greatest movies ever made. Facts. That's not like
It's really good.
it is a masterpiece. Little Children is awesome. It has, first of all, I think everybody in that movie deserves an Academy Award. I'm just gonna say that right from the back. Kate Winslet deserves to win Best Actress for that performance. Jackie Earle Haley, I think he won for that movie.
Yeah, he got nominated though, but it's a great performance.
What's my man named Patrick Wilson? He never got no love from that movie.
It's kind of funny how that movie was Patrick Wilson and him, and then it was like 3 years later they got reunited with Watchmen.
Same studio too.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, New Line Cinema and Rose.
Yeah.
Just my whole point though, Marv, with what I was saying earlier, it's that film, if you are really into films, I'm not saying everyone has to be like really into it the way we are, but I'm saying that it's something that's constantly evolving. Like there's constantly times where I'm coming across titles that I haven't heard about before, but I'll then add it to my watch list and then I'll eventually watch it. And I don't know, that's just one of the great things about cinema. I try not to put things in a box, and that's what I'm saying that Eggers is trying to get across. He's not saying that, oh my goodness, if you just watch, like blockbusters, then he's like, putting a thumb up to audiences. And you can definitely tell that he's not, because he made The Northman, which is a very crowd-pleasing film and is a blockbuster. And Nosferatu is also going to be a blockbuster.
First of all, The Northman is not a blockbuster. Stop.
100%. Did you see the numbers that it pulled?
You know I did, and I don't know why you lying to the people. You lying to the public. You lying to the public.
It did, honestly, for a mid-budget film, it did very well.
It did not, and he's commented on it. He said it himself. He said, "I'm disappointed, but it's also a recovering marketplace," which is fair, which is very fair.
No, but Nosferatu, you're hearing it first. That movie's gonna do really well.
Want to bet? Let's bet that right now. I'll bet you that right now.
All right,
let's bet.
Why don't you think Nosferatu is gonna do well?
Because it's not. It's not.
You don't think Nosferatu is going to do well?
Give me a number. What's the number? What's your bet? What's your number?
Let's see. It is Christmas counter programming. I'm going to say it's going to do 20 million opening weekend.
20 million? No. I'll bet you right now. What's the bet?
$5?
$5. Bet. You're on.
What do you actually, before we bet, what are you saying it's going to do? Just so we have like a range in regards to the numbers.
I couldn't tell you. All I can tell you that it won't. It's going to be a 5-day opening weekend.
Right. So you don't think it's going to get 20 million over 5 days?
No, I don't. Matter of fact, I have something to go off of. Midsummer was a 5-day opening weekend, and that was 9 million, I believe. So anywhere from, I'll say like 10 million. I'll say 10 million.
You think it's going to be 10 million? 10
million, yes. That's what Midsummer did over a 5-day 4th of July period. I believe that Nosferatu.
Yeah, but Midsummer was A24. Like this is, I'm pretty sure it's
This is Neon. This is Neon.
Is it Neon?
Or Focus Features, one of the two. And it's not going to do what you think. The same way you thought Maxine was going to be huge, this is not going to be huge, Chad. It's not. I can tell you. I'm telling you. Only people who are going to be excited about seeing that are the same people who got excited about seeing The Lighthouse. Not a huge crowd. It's niche. It's not going to bring in no crowd. I'm trying to tell you. But we have the bet. And I want you to remember that we made the bet.
I'm not seeing that it's Neon. Where are you seeing that it's Neon?
I said Focus Features.
Oh, it's Focus. I mean, I don't know, man.
I listen, we are still having the press conference, people. I want y'all to be commenting as we're talking about this. I think that Chad's fandom for this guy has him blinded to think he's going to have a hit on his hands. This guy is not a commercial director, okay?
I feel like The Northman, though, and Nosferatu definitely have that commercial appeal, though.
The Northman was close, but still not it.
But it's not. First of all, going back to my point, though, is that I don't think Eggers has anything against blockbusters because he himself made something that has mass appeal, and he's about to do that again with Nosferatu.
This movie doesn't have mass appeal, man. Why don't you get that?
Nosferatu is a classic icon.
No, it's a classic icon amongst film people. not amongst regular people. We're not regular, Chad. Me and you
I'm
are not
saying
regular.
I've talked to regular people. Regular people are aware of Nosferatu.
They're not going to go see this movie. Those
Okay.
two, they're not going to go see it.
It's a horror film, Marv.
It's not in the same, not in the traditional sense. It's not. The Witch made $8 million. I thought that was going to do 20 million. It did not.
But
People walked out the theater in that theater. I remember that.
I don't think it's going to be like The Witch. I think that
Okay.
I don't think of an example of a film that it's going to be similar to. I think that it will have, yes, his art house flair, but I do think that there is going to be a lot of appeal to this film. I get what you're saying, but I do think that in regards to Christmas time, there aren't really any adult films coming out. So I think that it's going to
And
work.
let's look at history. What happened when Girl with the Dragon Tattoo did it? Oh, my bad. $13 million 5-day weekend, I believe. Was it 5? Yeah, I think that was it. You can double check me if I'm wrong.
It ended up making over 100 million though, and if Nosferatu does that, then that's great.
You think Nosferatu is going to make $100 million?
No. I'm saying based on the numbers that you're given with Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and
I was talking about the opening weekend, and that's
yeah,
also.
but it made a $13 million opening weekend and ended up making over 100 million by the end of it. So it's like if Nosferatu does that, it's pretty good.
I'm telling you right now, that is not happening. I'll even up the bet to $10.
I'm gonna say $5 for now because we still have three more months.
3 months. How about $5 and a bag of fruit snacks?
Bag of fruit snacks. The no added sugar kind. Actually, I guess they all have added sugar. The organic kind.
No. If you win, I'll give you a bag of oats. Hold up. Check the comments. Because I've been telling them we having a press conference. I need to hear these comments.
We're still talking about football. Just where Andrew, football outside the US or football is soccer. Just Guerrero, Chad cringing so bad. I'm here for it. I love that. Sorry, we'll be wrapping it up soon, Marv. Let's see. Let me go back. Andrew Lay, I'm in New Zealand. We have rugby, but I'm not a sports guy, so I can't tell if there's a difference between that and American football. Just Guerrero, we have rugby here as well. Different rules and games, but similar in some ways. Yeah, for sure. You'll count me in for a game, Chad and Marv.
Absolutely.
Legion of Boom was such a solid group.
I missed that group.
Yes, Canadian is America, New Zealand is Australia. Let's see. Just where I can't stand the word woke. Yes, I'm with you. Utilized much better. Yeah, I like that much better, honestly. See y'all. Looking forward to your Twin Peaks return review on Letterboxd. Yep, I will definitely let you know when I'm dropping that. It should be tomorrow night, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Skynet, I wouldn't say Megalopolis was pretentious, but definitely movies that I find made for the director only, and the audience is just lost. Jodorowsky film of Topa, even Aronofsky's The Fountain. I wouldn't say that. It's a different flavor. I'm trying to think of a good food analogy. It's like quinoa. Actually, no, never mind. Quinoa is a terrible example because that's actually gained popularity. I'm trying to think of a food that I eat. Oh, mane hair, lion mane hair. You probably haven't heard of that, Mark, but it's a very healthy food. That's
quinoa.
I
heard of quinoa.
No. Lion mane. So lion mane is an actual food ingredient. You don't see it too often, but it has so many health benefits. But it's a unique taste. It's something that isn't for everyone. But it's not necessarily made for the person that invented it or first found it. It's just a unique taste. And Jodorowsky's El Topo and Aronofsky's The Fountain, they're unique tastes. They're an acquired taste. And it's like how certain foods are an acquired taste. It's not for everyone. It's not a broad appeal. And that's just it. There are certain films where it doesn't have that. Like Megalopolis, I wasn't a fan of it, but I did say it in my review that I can see it being a cult classic in the future. I can. Just not really necessarily a film for me. And I can respect that, Let me see. Skynet, Maltese Falcon is the epitome of noir. Not my favorite, but a film I always heard about. Modern Times is another classic Chaplin title that many love. Yes, I think that Maltese Falcon, like that's one of those films that when I first started getting into the noir genre, I had always heard about that film, so I was like, okay, let me check this out. And Modern Times, like it was in IMDb's top 250, but it was also in AFI's top 100. And also, I grew up in a household that we watched a lot of, a lot of older films. So I was just one of those things that I was experiencing. Actually, to be fair, that film I did actually bring in the forefront to my parents. But yeah, Charlie Chaplin's films are really good. I don't know. It's just one of those things, Marv, where I just look at like certain lists. So I'll see certain critics lists where it's like, oh, this is some of the best, or I'll see audiences polls and I'll see that like, oh, these are the movies that over the course of time people love, like Citizen Kane, Chinatown, films like that I've always heard about, and then I just finally came across. But you know, there's a lot of noirs that I would recommend.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, Marv, I think we'll wrap things up. Everyone, I just want to say thank you for
I want to
tuning
point
in.
out we never had the Batman conversation.
Oh yeah, we'll end on the Batman conversation. So I think the first thing that we'll talk about before wrapping things up is the Batman. So I agree with you about Matt Reeves in that I think that he is a director that I greatly admire. I think that his Apes movies are quite good, and I what was it? Let the Right One In. Is it Let the Right One In, or is it Let
Let
Me In?
me in.
Let Me In. I always get the two confused because I know the one's a remake. But I think they're competent films. But of his filmography, the ones that I come back to is ironically the Batman. I agree with you. I know we before the stream we were talking about how there's like three endings of the Batman, and I will agree with you on that. I do think that the Batman it does have three endings, and I do think that it could have ended 10 minutes sooner. But prior to that, I do think it is a masterclass in tone and just atmosphere, and I
I,
think it works quite well.
I
I
think
do kind of wish that it was its own film, but at the same time, I am curious to see what Reeves does with the sequels, and I'll definitely be there day one. Um, I'm just kind of nervous that the Batman's going to do a lot of I mean, not the Batman, that the Penguin's going to do a lot of things that if you don't watch the show,
I've
people are going
already
to be
confirmed
lost.
for you they're already doing that. That's
Oh, that's so frustrating.
that's happening. If you watch the movie without seeing the Penguin, you'll just be jumping in. But if you saw the show, it'll be like a reward, like a reward, like you got something out of that. So,
Ah,
but
that's so
you're watching the show, so
I
you'll
am, but like I'm pretty sure Nicolette's gonna be watching the Batman 2 with me whenever it comes out. She's not watching the Penguin. Like I'm not like, hey, you want to watch the Penguin? Like
well, I mean, here's the deal. All right, let me get into Matt Reeves really quick. So I remember when I said this when he was hired, and I remember you defended him a little bit, and like not when the movie came out, but since it came out, I've realized that my all my fears were true. Like he's just a boring director. He just is. His style, his writing is boring. Like he's not an interesting writer or storyteller. Now I think Dawn of the Apes is pretty great, and a lot of people love that movie. Like a lot of people like I'm talking about like that. That's like people really like that movie. Like I'm talking about like just casual people just like that movie. Like that movie does numbers.
yeah.
People just really get into that. I think kind of like the war one came and went, and that's because again his writing. Like the first act is really good, it gets you into it, but then the rest is just boring. Like I think he has the same problem that Colin Trevorrow has, where what they are keying in on is like what they think we are there couldn't be farther from the truth. Not so much with Batman, because I think with Batman, one thing that I love that he did was that he gave us Batman through the whole movie. I was like, I've never gotten that before. I love that. 95% Batman, sign me up. 3 hour Batman, sign me up. The but the problem with him is like I don't really like his cinematography too much. Not that it's bad, but I really do find it to be kind of like dull and just kind of like meh.
Even the Batman, like the Batman, I think has really good cinematography.
It looks good. It's not. It doesn't look bad, but like it's like the mood from it is just like. Now, mind you, if you want to just say no, that works, it's appropriate for that. I'll give it to you. But I was watching it with my brother, and my brother, and this is what I mean by like casuals. Even though my brother loves movies, what I mean by that is that Batman movie is not liked by regular people. Like by movie buffs and comic book fans, it is liked a lot. But I can't tell you how many times I've heard people either say, I literally heard this a bunch of times. People trying to watch it, trying to get into it, and they can't finish it. My brother, when I watched it with him, he said the only reason I'm watching this right now is because you're next to me, so I can watch it. I can watch it with you. I can't watch this with nobody else or by myself. This movie sucks. Like he didn't like it at all. He ripped it to shreds. He was like, I'm like, bro, what like I mean, because as you would think I didn't like it the way I'm talking about it, but I do think it's okay. But I was what's not hooking you? Because I wanted to find out why don't people connect with this movie, and a lot of things that I got back from people were it was just dragged out, which it is. Um, I don't think people really thought that they had chemistry between Catwoman and Batman. I heard that a lot. I heard that I'm not really feeling her. I'm not really feeling her and him. I got that a lot. A lot of people like Penguin. A lot of people who didn't like that movie are watching the Penguin right now. I do know that for sure. Um, they thought that the mystery was trash, which I always said. I said that from the jump. The ending is trash. I said that from the jump too. My niece said that when we went to go see it. Like that whole third act is just mm. the the Joker tag at the end. The Joker tag, it's almost like they tried to do it, but that was if you watch it, Chad. If you rewatch it, you realize that that should have been an end credit scene or a mid credit scene. It should have been, but it's like mid Matt Reeves.
Well,
He
that's what I
didn't.
was saying about like the last like 5-10 minutes. Like it has those three endings. I I don't know. I don't agree with any of those points other than maybe the Joker part, but the other points, nah.
I
I
didn't
think
expect. I didn't expect you to, but
because Catwoman and Batman in that movie, it's not like they're supposed to be like madly in love. Like
I didn't say madly love. I said they don't. The actors don't have chemistry with each other, and they don't. It's really dry. Like you don't
I
buy.
mean, I don't think it's necessary that they have to have chemistry, given that it's not a romance. It's a
I didn't. You keep getting mixing up what I'm saying. People don't buy them like their performances together. Like that, it is not working. I'm not talking about anything about them being romantic.
what do you
Like
mean their performance is not working?
like people when they were on screen together, like people were not. They didn't buy it. Like people like I saw people literally watching it. Like I'm not feeling this. You don't. I saw that so many times. I heard it. But like I wasn't feeling that. I keep hearing that. I thought that way. Like when I was watching my brother, my mom's house, like when I guess when they were at her house and it was like the cat thing, I guess they were having a couple of lines of dialogue. My brother turned to me and like laughed, like, bro, are they serious? He literally said that to me. My mom was like, yeah, I'm not watching this. Y'all got this one. Like, and like she didn't get it either. And like my brother was like, when he said, like, you got a lot of cats. I got a I got a thing for strays. He burst out laughing. He was like, bro, this dialogue is trash. This acting is terrible. Like that I've heard that not just from I heard it from a lot of people. A lot of people said that. A lot.
I don't think the acting is bad at all.
Not through the whole movie, but with them too. Like you that's what I mean by people didn't buy it. That's why I said
But
nothing
it's
romantic.
supposed to be awkward. It's not
It
supposed to
wasn't
be.
awkward, Chad. They didn't like it was like bad. People didn't like it. Like they didn't like that at all. At all.
I
Like
don't. I guess I just don't understand that explanation.
it's what like my niece didn't like it. My niece thought that was she was like, yeah, I mean it was good, but like Catwoman wasn't good. I don't think they could have got a different person to play her. I didn't really like her with Batman. Her scenes with Batman weren't that good. I've heard that like a lot from a lot of people, mind you, not movie people, not comic book people. I'm talking about like just regular everyday people. Like every Batman fan I know loves that movie for sure. Every I'm not gonna say every movie buff, but a lot of movie buffs that I know who saw it like that movie.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, because it's very well made. I mean, I'll
it's
be honest. I don't think those criticisms are like. I don't want to say valid because it's like it's at the end of the day it's
Like I
subjective,
remember
but
I
it just
saw
it doesn't really feel fully formed, I guess is what I'm saying. Like
I saw this one guy on Instagram when it came on HBO Max, right? This was when I was working at the Franklin Institute, and I remember I was watching it when it came out on HBO Max. I was watching it because back in my old job at that job, I didn't work at all. I was always in the office watching movies, so I was watching it, and I remember I had like you had it on. I got like went to Instagram, and I was like, I saw a couple people were watching it, and I saw this one guy, and I never forgot this to this day. I might have even told you about this before, where um, he said, guys, I have watched this Batman movie 6 times. And then he said two things. He said, I still don't know what it's about, and I can't get to the end. And the comments, they was like, it's so bad. It's so bad. This movie's like it
yeah,
was
it's
like
an echo because it's an echo chamber.
it was like I was like, and but I was sad because the one I was actually like liking it when I was watching it on HBO Max at that time. I was like, and that's why I told you, I asked my brother, like, bro, what's not hitting it for you? Because he from the jump, he always told me that movie sucked. He never liked it. Even when I watched
But I think Marv, if someone has watched a movie 6 times and they can't watch it all the way through, it says a couple things. Maybe they just don't have the best attention span.
no, 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 no,
Two,
no, 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 no. Let me stop you. Let me stop you right there.
like
And
yeah,
I told you this before. Sid Field, screenwriter, he said his first rule: if people watch your movie and within the first 10 minutes, they're not into it, and like they can't drive with it. That means they don't like it, and you've lost them. So that does not mean no low attention. I mean they don't like the movie. That's what that means.
I mean, no. A couple hours ago, we literally were talking about how people's attention span aren't what they once were, and
Yeah, for sure.
I think that them not being able to be in tune with a 2 hour and 50 minute mystery film kind of speaks for itself. I think.
No, because I just told you everybody said the mystery was trash. I told you that
I
mystery
mean,
was garbage.
I don't have like an echo chamber. Like I follow people from all different
I
backgrounds, and
I'm telling you that I said that in the movie theater. I said this mystery is garbage. It is literally the worst riddle. Period. What was it? El Rata Arata? Was that it? Was that the riddle, Chad?
oh,
El
I don't know.
Rata. It was El Rata or something like that, and they were chasing the penguin because they thought that's what he meant. He was talking about as far as who the Riddler was after or something like that. Yeah, I think that was it. And I was like, how do you not know that he's talking about you? I was like, this is a joke, right? They don't mean this. It clearly means a winged bat. Whatever the riddle was. Oh, and it was like,
Context, Marv. Context. Batman has just started out. He is someone. Hear me out.
go
He has
ahead.
just started out crime fighting. He is
Uh,
also a rich billionaire who is very reclusive. So he doesn't have that everyday life of being an average person the way you and I do. So it's like, yeah, he's not going to be as in tune with that kind of stuff. It kind of makes sense. Just
uh,
saying.
that riddle that was almost like the thing in War for the Planet of the Apes when Matt Reeves wrote like the thing Simian Flu and how that wound up working its way into the camp and stuff like that. And I remember Grace commented about that, and she spoke to that, and she was like, "This is poor writing." Dot dot dot. And I was like, and that reminded me of that. It was like, oh, so this was great. This is what Grace was talking about. That's what I said when I first saw that. Like it was like something that she penned about his writing while reviewing that movie. And when that happened in the Batman, I was like, oh,
Well, sorry, I'm not following. What is it
it
about
was
this simian flu? That's
the simian. It was something in the War Apes, the third Apes movie. It was something about the girl, the doll, and the Colonel. And Grace said in her review, I didn't see it at the time. She had said in her review something about it. She said, come back for the spoiler review, but I'll just get into a little bit here. It is poor writing 101, something like that. If I could watch it with you another day if you want, we can talk about it. But it was pretty much saying how, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen that movie either. But when Woody Harrelson finds the doll, and that's all I'll say. When he finds the doll and then what happens to him, and happens to, I guess, happens to a couple other people. It was like, why the Herb thing was, why would you? It was like, what she, not a contrivance. She called it a like, not plot armor. It's a term she used. It's almost like, why would you touch that? It's clear, like, you clearly can't do that. And then, I don't want to get into spoilers, but with the Batman, I was like, no, I'm not buying that one. That riddle doesn't make sense. That riddle sucks. It's almost like he didn't even really think about it. He just like made something up and just ran with it. And I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not buying that one. That's not a good riddle. My brother said that. He's like, that riddle sucks. It doesn't work. I hate it. I actually hate it now, even more thinking about it. I don't like it at all. Hold up.
Just agree.
Hold up. Check the comments. I want to hear the comments. We're having a press conference.
Well, I was gonna say we're gonna wrap things up because we still want to talk about Matt Reeves, but we are gonna wrap things up. So, Marv, I might be available for the live stream next week. I'm going on a mini trip, but we'll keep everyone posted in regards to if we're doing a live stream next week, and next Saturday. If not, we could probably do one maybe next Sunday or something like that. But we'll keep everyone posted. But all right, guys, thanks again for tuning in. Joseph, I look forward to hearing your thoughts on what's it called, Prisoners. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts, as well as Nosferatu when it comes out. And I will catch everyone later.